After what turned into a rough season for the Cardinals last year, a new coach and a fresh season have spirits as high as the geyser in Soda Springs. The Red and Black take the field this year under Cliff Garbett as he looks to build his legacy and bring glory to the Cardinal name. The game of football may not seem like one for the Birds, but these Cardinals are a different breed. Strong, quick, smart, and all brought together by one goal: victory. Let's find out together what can happen when birds of a feather flock together on the gridiron. Cardinal football is right here and right now on KBRV 800 The Bear and streaming live online at mylocalradio.com. Soda Springs football is brought to you live by these local sponsors:
Sanders Furniture, Reed's Plumbing and Heating, Silver Star Communications, Monsanto, and Old West Media.
Kickoff is just about 30 minutes away, so let's head out to the field where Caleb Burgraff will get you primed and ready for kickoff on your home for every play of Cardinal football. AM 800 KBRV, The Bear.
And everybody listening in, welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to our next broadcast, our current broadcast of Soda Springs football, as we are about 30 minutes away from the opening lineups, the starting kick, and the matchup in rivalry night between the Soda Springs Cardinals and the Bear Lake Bears here in Montpelier, Idaho, at the campus of Bear Lake High School on KBRV 800 The Bear with live video streaming online at mylocalradio.com. I encourage everyone to get over to that link if you have not and check it all out. We have plenty coming up for you on the pregame show that you can listen into here on KBRV 800 The Bear, as well as on our affiliate stations, 106.3 FM in Soda Springs and 92.7 in Montpelier. So be sure to get your radio dials tuned over there. Call your friends. Tell your relatives. It's time for Soda Springs football as we have a look at what happened in last week's game for the Cardinals coming up on our broadcast. Also, an interview with a student and with one of the seniors from the Soda Springs football team, and Tanner Myers is coming up. We'll also have our coaches show coming up for you as well, where we talk with head coach Cliff Garbett of the Soda Springs Cardinals and Ryan Messerly of the Bear Lake Bears. All coming up on the pregame show here on KBRV 800 The Bear with live video streaming online at mylocalradio.com.
Here's a look at your Lalaton's food specials in Soda Springs for the week of October 15th through the 21st. And check out their Tyson's family pack of boneless, skinless chicken breasts for $1.99 each. Or their boneless beef sirloin tip or chuck roast, $3.99 a pound. Boneless New York pork chops are $1.99 a pound as well. And don't forget, if you're looking for your potatoes, they have 10-pound bags of russet potatoes, 2 for $3, all at Lalaton's in Soda Springs.
One stop and get everything on your list: gas, groceries, fresh deli items, lottery tickets, and all your fish and game licenses. Patterson Quick Stop in Soda Springs is locally owned and open 7 days a week. You can check the daily lunch specials every Monday through Friday on the Patterson Quick Stop Facebook page. When you need it quick, get it at Patterson Quick Stop in Soda Springs, 111 North Hooper. Go Cardinals!
How'd I do?
You'll get better.
Tim can't wait to be a real driver. But for now, he's king of the online track thanks to Silver Star Communications high-speed internet. Reliable, consistent speeds give him the edge against players anywhere, even the other end of the couch.
Whoa.
You'll get better.
Visit silverstar.com to learn more.
Would your business survive a disaster? Nearly 2/3 of businesses aren't prepared for an emergency, and 40% of businesses that experience a disaster never recover. Make an emergency plan now before it's too late. For a free online tool that helps you develop an emergency plan to keep your business up and running should disaster strike, visit ready.gov/business. Brought to you by the Federal Emergency Management Agency, the American Red Cross, and the Ad Council.
Back here once again at the home of the Bear Lake Bears, Caleb Burgraff on KBRV 800 The Bear with live video streaming online at mylocalradio.com/Soda Springs, where you can watch a live version of every single one of the Soda Springs Cardinals games. And right now it's time for us to take a look at what happened last week between the Cardinals and the the Declo Hornets, as the Soda Springs Cardinals jumped out of district for another big matchup. And well, it wasn't pretty for the Cardinals. They did have some bright spots that came out, including 4 downs where they were, or 4 drives where they were able to force Declo into 4th down situations. but Declo was able to convert on 4th down in all 4 of those situations. The Cardinals were paced by Dylan Farnes, who scored the only points for the Cardinals on an 85-yard touchdown run in the 3rd quarter, and was the big gainer for them on the night too, with 94 yards, through the ground on the night. There was a 100-yard total yard night for Tanner Myers, who is our subject of our interview earlier today, or coming up in the pregame show, as he had 107 total yards on 8 different touches, 3 receptions, and 5 rushes. Devin Adams ended up going for 13 yards on 15 carries. The Cardinals had 155 yards of offense on 31 carries and 65 yards through the air, so just able to get to 220 yards on the evening against Declo. And for Declo and the Hornets, they put over 550 yards of offense up onto the board, 243 yards rushing the ball, 313 yards throwing the ball. It was a big night for their main quarterback in Calvin Miles, as he had several rushing touchdowns, a pair of those, and added on several throwing touchdowns as well. In fact, 2 throwing touchdowns. I mean, it was a basic massacre from the beginning, and that's a nice way of putting it for that game, as Declo owned it all the way through, and the Cardinals now, in their game tonight against Bear Lake, are going to be looking to avoid that fate once again, as they look to try and bounce back after a 63-7 loss to Declo and the Hornets last week on the road. We'll come back with more on our pregame show here on KBRV 800 The Bear, with live streaming video online at mylocalradio.com, as the Bears and the Cardinals getting set for their matchup 23 minutes from kickoff on your home for Soda Springs Sports.
There's an organization in southeast Idaho whose wildlife conservation efforts have been commended by the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation, the Idaho Fish and Wildlife Foundation, and the North American Moose Foundation. Who is this organization? It's Monsanto. While Monsanto is honored by the recognition they receive, their ongoing dedication to the environment is its own reward for all of us. Monsanto. Imagine.
Whoa.
The moment my son saw a redwood tree.
It's huge!
Is the moment I knew that for him,
You can't even see the top of that thing!
even the sky has no limit.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org. Learn about forests near you and discover cool things to do when you go. Your moment is out there. Find it at discovertheforest.org.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
There has never been a better time to convert to natural gas. Even in the summer months, natural gas is worth asking for. Rage Plumbing and Heating in Soda Springs will replace your furnace that caused you problems this winter with a new natural gas furnace, or even install a natural gas water heater to keep your water hot. Plus, Reed's can add a water softener to your home. And if you want to cool things down, Reed's Plumbing and Heating will install an energy-efficient Lennox air conditioner. All at Reed's Plumbing and Heating, 180 South 3rd Street, Soda Springs.
Welcome back into the pregame show. Caleb Burgraff here on KBRV 800 The Bear, as we're about 21 and a half minutes away from the opening kick between the Soda Springs Cardinals and the Bear Lake Bears here on homecoming night for Bear Lake. I want to thank everybody tuning in on our affiliate stations, 106.3 FM in Soda Springs and 92.7 in Montpelier, as this is a big game for these two squads looking to try and lay everything on the line and give themselves a victory tonight that will help them to avoid that fate that Soda Springs had to suffer last week against Declo. The loser of this game most likely will take on Declo in that play-in round of the state playoffs here in Idaho. The winner of this game will most likely end up taking West Jefferson on in that first round game. So a lot of big decisions on the line for the Soda Springs Cardinals depending on what happens in this game, but you have to come away with a victory here tonight in order to avoid some of those fates and take the questions away from your schedule, as the Cardinals still would have an opportunity to avoid that fate if they could take down Aberdeen on senior night as well. But tonight, once again, this is the game that you have to win if you're the Cardinals against Bear Lake and the Bears. We talked to one of the Soda Springs Cardinals this week about what his thoughts are on what the team's going to need to do, as Tanner Myers, one of the senior leaders on this Soda Springs football team, joined me earlier this week on our Coach's Corner for KBRV 800 The Bear and online at mylocalradio.com.
Caleb Burgraff with Tanner Myers from the Soda Springs football team. And Tanner, right now the season, it's had its ups and downs. You've had a good win against Malad, a couple of big losses in there as well. For you, though, how do you think the team has been performing so far?
It just depends on who we're playing. I think mentally we'll go up and down, and then we just need to step it up when it comes to playoffs.
Now, you guys are guaranteed that playoff spot right now, but which team you play is really going to a little bit up in the air as far as who that is. You still have that in your destiny a little bit with Bear Lake and Aberdeen still on the schedule. Does it give you a little bit of confidence knowing that you can still come away with a couple of big wins on the year?
Yeah, I think we're looking forward to playing Bear Lake because we always love playing Bear Lake.
When you look at Bear Lake, what are some of the things that they do well this week? You have to go over to their place. What are some of the things that you've known after your 3 years prior to this playing for Soda? What are some of the things you know about their field to watch out for?
They're not going to take it easy. They want to step up and they want to beat us at home. They're going to play better at home.
They're always one of the tougher teams in this district, and they're always a team that can come out of nowhere and win. They've had a couple of good wins on their schedule this year too, including a win at Marsh Valley. What are you guys going to have to do well in order to get a win against a team like that has confidence?
We need to step up mentally, I think, is where we need to step up. We have the talent. We just need to put it all together.
You guys seem to have had a little bit of a struggle with inconsistency so far through the season. You'll have 2 or 3 good plays in a row on the offensive end, and then you'll give up a couple of plays where you don't gain yards or you go backwards. When it comes to those consistencies, if you take out the mental side of things, what are some of the things on the field that you can fix that would cure some of those problems?
I think it's just every once in a while on a play, we'll have a single individual, like a different one every play, not do their job or they'll mess up, but we're working on that every day at practice.
Caleb Burgraff here with Tanner Myers from the football team. And Tanner, you're a senior on this team. As far as the leadership role level, how do you take that leadership role?
I really don't like it when people get down or start saying that we're going to lose before. Like, we can do anything if we put it all together right in Malad. We weren't expected to win, but we came out and beat him.
You've also got a first year under Coach Garbett here now. What has he just shown for this team? What's he done for this team that's turned things around a little bit, and what are some of the things that you've enjoyed hearing from him?
We've been working on a lot of fundamentals and getting our tackling, and we've been working on offense over and over and over because we can't seem to get it together, but it's coming a lot better than it was the first of the year, so we're getting it down.
Defense this year, this team's really had a strong season. What's behind that? How do you describe the way the defense plays?
I think we've been running it at like pretty much every single year since I've been here with Coach Campbell's, and I think there's a lot of nasty linebackers, and we're just getting in there.
You also have been playing a little bit of defensive back. You played a little bit of linebacker. Which one do you like playing more, and which one do you think you're better suited for?
I like safety a lot better because I like going deep to cover the passes and coming up when they're running outside.
Final thing for you, and that's for yourself. You've improved a lot this season, but also some of the other players have too. Who are some of the younger kids who are going to be stepping up, some of the underclassmen? Who are some of them that you've really been impressed with so far this season?
Morgan Steele got a hit and got knocked out and got a pretty bad concussion, but he's been coming up and he's been doing his job every single time, and he's been doing great. And Andrew Stewart, at the first of the year, he's kind of fallen apart mentally, but now the last couple games he's been doing great.
Tanner, thank you so much again for the time. Good luck to you guys this week.
All right, thanks.
That was senior Tanner Myers from the Soda Springs football team. We're about 16 and a half minutes away from the opening kick and starting lineups here on the home of Soda Springs Cardinals football. And we are going to get that rolling along here on KBRV 800 The Bear after this quick break.
Just quiet. I can't hear much.
After we come back on your home for Soda Springs football on the KBRV 800 The Bear with live stream and video online at mylocalradio.com.
There has never been a better time to convert to natural gas. Even in the summer months, natural gas is worth asking for. Rage Plumbing and Heating in Soda Springs will replace your furnace that caused you problems this winter with a new natural gas furnace, or even install a natural gas water heater to keep your water hot. Plus, Reed's can add a water softener to your home. And if you want to cool things down, Reed's Plumbing and Heating will install an energy-efficient Lennox air conditioner. All at Reed's Plumbing and Heating, 180 South 3rd Street, Soda Springs.
You can always feel assured to know that you have a hospital that will handle your health care in a caring and professional manner. Bear Lake Memorial Hospital in Montpelier, Idaho offers 24/7 emergency room services, 3 physicians clinics, elder care services including assisted living and skilled nursing, dialysis, orthopedic care, physical therapy, counseling services, home health services, and much more. Health care for the entire family. Bear Lake Memorial Hospital, the most caring hospital on earth.
They need your help. They're overstocked with Lazy Boy and Catnapper recliners, sofas, and love seats. They'll wheel and deal right now at Sanders Furniture, Flooring, and Appliance. If you will help them make room in their showroom, they'll help you keep money in your bank account while you're enjoying high-quality, comfortable Lazy Boy and Catnapper recliners, sofas, and love seats. They need your help, and you need to save money. Wheel and deal right now at Sanders Furniture, Flooring, and Appliances on Main Street in Soda Springs.
Welcome back out. Once again, it is time for us to jump into the Cliff Garbutt pregame coaches show, brought to you by Arctic Circle in Soda Springs, where the good stuff is. No one sees the game the way the coaches do, and we're going to take a few minutes to visit with Ryan Messerly and then sit down with the Cardinals head coach Cliff Garbutt and get his thoughts on what his team needs to do to come away with a win this afternoon and evening. We'll be right back after this from Arctic Circle in Soda Springs. You're listening to Soda Springs Cardinals football on KBRV 800 The Bear with live streaming video online at mylocalradio.com.
By choosing high-quality ingredients like Black Angus beef, French fries, and Alaskan halibut, Arctic Circle in Soda Springs makes sure you get the meal you deserve. Add one of the above-the-rim shakes and you have a meal fit for a king at a price that can feed the whole family. Whether it's lunch, dinner, or a treat after the game, stop by today and visit Renee and the team at the Soda Springs Arctic Circle on 2nd South and 1st East. It's where the good stuff is.
Caleb Berggraf joined here on the pregame show with Ryan Messerly. And Coach, Bear Lake this year, you're having a little bit of an up and down season, but a lot like Soda, a tough schedule that you guys had set in front of you this year. What have been your thoughts on the way the team's been able to play?
We've been really good. Like you said, a tough schedule. We've got a couple big 3A schools, but we're looking forward to, playing hard and hitting hard, and that's our game plan. So.
Right now you guys are 2-4 on the season. One of the things that we'll talk about before we get into that schedule is a lot of the home games you've had. How has that helped get your kids more comfortable playing, especially when you have younger kids that are going to be making appearances on the varsity?
Oh, well, when we go away, it's usually a long trip. A couple hours on a bus, and then that's always draining on the kids. And so having 6 home games here has really helped us. Just mentally, there's no fatigue, and we can start strong.
When you look at some of the other teams that you've played, you're 0-2 in District 5 play right now, but you have Soda Springs tonight and Malad. The bottom of the half of the conference is basically your end of your schedule. How important are these games in order to get wins in these games? You and I were talking about that beforehand.
Yeah, this is extremely important. The win or loss here depends on who we're going to play in the playoffs, and that could be a big swing. Being West J or Declo. So,
when you look at that too, is it good to have a little bit of a lighter schedule in the back half after playing Aberdeen and West Side, that you can catch your breath a little bit and maybe get a little bit of momentum going into that first round of the playoffs?
Well, we'll definitely find out tonight. We were banged up for the first 2 teams because we got Aberdeen number 1 in the state, West Side number 2. So we're looking to, hopefully get this done. So.
Caleb Berggraf with Ryan Messerly. And Coach, when you look at this game, who are some of the kids on your team that you've really been impressed with that are going to be impact makers on tonight's field?
Mason Garbutt on defense really stepped up for us. And then we have a new quarterback, Damon Shaw, and he's kind of stepped up in that role, and we'll see what he can do tonight.
You're a new head coach on the varsity level, but you were coaching the JV level here. Did it help being able to know some of the kids who were coming up to varsity when you were planning around your scheme, and also being able to have the same offense being run there that got brought up to the varsity level?
Oh, definitely. With the kids, we knew we had the talent that we had, and so we could kind of plug them into the system that we could work with.
When you look at Soda Springs now, it's a rivalry game tonight. It's homecoming. What's the emotion like for tonight's game when you have those 2 aspects thrown into the mix?
Oh, the atmosphere has been crazy here this week. I hope it's not too much. I hope we come out strong and finish strong, and that's our game plan. So.
When you look at Soda, one of the big words that's been brought up by a lot of different coaches that they've played so far has been gritty. They're a team that always is going to come down to compete. What's your opinion on Soda, knowing that you haven't faced the varsity level before, but you've grown up here, you went to school here, you've coached here before. What's your opinion on Soda Springs and that's just the generic assumption of their team?
Well, being Soda and Bear Lake being so close, it's always been a rivalry. So they're going to come out hitting strong. It's an important game for them. It's an important game for us. So I know it's going to be a 48-minute battle.
Do you know what to expect from Coach Garbutt tonight? And what are you hoping what are you expecting the Cardinals to throw your way?
we've watched a few game films, and we've got some game plan ready for them. I think they're going to come out in the spread and try to spread us out and get their speed going. I know they have a lot of speed, so we got to try to shut that down and then just wind the clock with our offense. So.
Final thing for you, and that's for your team. What's the biggest thing that you have to do, and what's your plan of attack on the offensive end for this game?
Offensive is to basically control the clock. I know Soda can score fast and score a lot of points. They can. They have the talent to do it. So if we can control the clock, we can control the game.
Coach, thank you so much again for the time. Good luck in the next game.
Thank you.
That was head coach Ryan Moserly of the Bear Lake Bears. You're tuned in right now to the Cliff Garbett pregame coaches show, brought to you by Arctic Circle in Soda Springs, where the good stuff is. Our chat with Cliff Garbett of the Soda Springs Cardinals is coming up next on your home for Soda Springs football, KBRV 800 The Bear, and online at mylocalradio.com.
Here's a look at your Lalatin's food specials in Soda Springs for the week of October 15th through the 21st. And check out their Tyson's family pack of boneless, skinless chicken breasts for $1.99 each. Or their boneless beef sirloin tip or chuck roast, $3.99 a pound. Boneless New York pork chops are $1.99 a pound as well. And don't forget, if you're looking for your potatoes, they have 10-pound bags of russet potatoes, 2 for $3, all at Lalatin's in Soda Springs.
There's an organization in southeast Idaho whose wildlife conservation efforts have been commended by the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation, the Idaho Fish and Wildlife Foundation, and the North American Moose Foundation. Who is this organization? It's Monsanto. While Monsanto is honored by the recognition they receive, their ongoing dedication to the environment is its own reward for all of us. Monsanto. Imagine.
Welcome back out to Bear Lake High School. We have about 8 minutes and 10 seconds until the opening kickoff between these two teams is scheduled, as we're in the middle of the Cliff Garbett pregame coaches show, brought to you by Arctic Circle in Soda Springs, where the good stuff is. We'll be right back with Coach Garbett on KBRV 800 The Bear and online at My Local Radio right after this.
By choosing high-quality ingredients like Black Angus beef, French fries, and Alaskan halibut, Arctic Circle in Soda Springs makes sure you get the meal you deserve. Add one of the above-the-rim shakes and you have a meal fit for a king at a price that can feed the whole family. Whether it's lunch, dinner, or a treat after the game, stop by today and visit Renee and the team at the Soda Springs Arctic Circle on 2nd South and 1st East. It's where the good stuff is.
Caleb Bergraff here with Coach Cliff Garbett from the Soda Springs football team. And Coach, a really rough week on Friday night for you guys against Declo. The first thing, though, there were a couple bright things. You mentioned the defense being able to stand up and get a couple of fourth downs coming up for Declo, which is a really tough team to stop. And then the other one, I thought your running back core, despite having to be rotated around, you saw little bits of bright spots from each of the guys that you had back there.
Yeah, I thought defensively we did a pretty good job up to fourth down. I mean, that was the disappointing part, is we get them stopped at fourth down, and then they were 4 for 4 on fourth down, and then we were 0 for 4 on third down offensively. So we couldn't get that done. But I think the first half our kids really played hard and felt like they gave it all they had. They just had some big plays that happened on them, but I felt like they played with some heart that first half. But we let out a little bit in the fourth quarter, and that's the biggest thing. We just need to work on our mental toughness and stuff there, and just get the kids to believe in themselves no matter what, and just keep on fighting to the end.
This week you guys are heading to Bear Lake, and it's tough to come back off a loss like that, but on the same side, you can also use that as motivation and say, look, we need to prove that we're not that team, and we've had a lot better games, and you can come out and play better, and there were bright spots in that. And again, you broke off some big plays. You had some big stops on the defensive side, including an interception, 2 interceptions back-to-back, one got called back. How do you get the kids to focus on those instead of the negatives of the 63-7 loss?
I think the biggest thing is just to learn from our mistakes and just learn, no matter what happens, we just got to play our hardest, from whistle to whistle, play to play, and just do the best that we can. I mean, Declo was a good team, and it's just going to make us better playing teams like that. And we're just looking forward to Bear Lake and seeing what we can do, see if everyone will step up to plate and play their best.
Caleb Bergerath with Coach Garbett here from the Soda Springs football team. And Coach, now that you look at next week, one of the things that I wanted to talk with you about was getting kids healthy and getting kids to come back. We already talked about some of the guys that you've gotten back, but the other one that you got back is Morgan Steele now. He's got that first game under his belt, kind of getting back into the rhythm of it. Do you expect him to be a bigger force in the game against Bear Lake than he was against Declo?
Yeah, I'm hoping to use him a little bit more. I mean, we had a ball to him this last week. It was off the mark to him, but we just didn't have a whole lot of time to pass the ball this week. We had to rely on the running game quite a bit and got ourselves in a pretty big hole early. But yeah, we'd like to use him a little more. Hopefully, see how Matt Smith goes. We thought that we lost him for the season this last game, but it sounds a little more optimistic than that, so we're hoping to get him back as well.
Couple more things. Bear Lake coming into this game, it's a rivalry game, obviously, but the other thing is for you, this is your chance to avoid Declo in that first-round playoff game. If you beat Bear Lake, then you get that number 3 seed coming out of District 5, and you play the District 6 team, or the top team out of District 6 instead of the top team out of District 4. How big would that be as just giving yourself a boost by having to play West Jefferson instead of Declo?
I don't think it matters either way. It's going to be tough wherever we go, but it would be huge to get a win against Bear Lake, but we're going to have to play top-notch ball to make that happen. Everybody's going to have to play together, and it doesn't really matter who we match up with. We just got to go out and play the best football we can.
Bear Lake 0-2 in District 5, but they've had some good wins outside of that, although their schedule has not necessarily been as tough as the schedule that you guys have put out there. What are things that you see from Bear Lake that your team has to watch out for?
I haven't seen too much on Bear Lake up to this point yet. But, as far as I know, they run the ball pretty well. So that's our biggest concern is to stop the run, and then on our side of the ball, get the run going, be able to run the football ourselves.
Coach Garbett, thank you as always for the time, and good luck to you guys as you continue to prepare for Friday night.
All right, thank you.
That was head coach Cliff Garbett of the Soda Springs Cardinals. This has been the Cliff Garbett pregame coaches show, brought to you by Arctic Circle, where the good stuff is in Soda Springs. Kickoff is right around the corner on KBRV 800 The Bear, with live video streaming online at mylocalradio.com. Don't go anywhere.
Cattlemen have a code of ethics. Live each day with courage. Take pride in your work. Always finish what you start. Do what has to be done. Be tough but fair. When you make a promise, keep it. Ride for the brand. Talk less and say more. Remember that some things aren't for sale, and know where to draw the line. The folks at Mound Valley Cattle Company in Thatcher, Idaho are proud of the students at Grace High School, investing in the leaders of tomorrow. The Mound Valley Cattle Company, 208-339-0614.
One stop and get everything on your list. Gas, groceries, fresh deli items, lottery tickets, and all your fish and game licenses. Patterson Quick Stop in Soda Springs is locally owned and open 7 days a week. You can check the daily lunch specials every Monday through Friday on the Patterson Quick Stop Facebook page. When you need it quick, get it at Patterson Quick Stop in Soda Springs, 111 North Hooper. Go Cardinals! MyLocalRadio.com is Southwest Wyoming and Northeast Utah's top website and the best source for local area news, weather, sports, and community events. And that's not all. MyLocalRadio.com features thousands of photographs of Wyoming and Utah high school events, from speech and drama competitions to local events, sports and activities, and much more. Check it out today and see what MyLocalRadio.com has for you.
Welcome back out into the pregame show. Caleb Bergerath here on KBRV 800. The Bear is, the field is being cleared of the players. The Soda Springs team is all on the far side of the field, as well as the fans of the Soda Springs Cardinals on the far side of the field away from us. The cheerleaders are out in front of the Soda Springs Cardinals football team for Bear Lake. The clock winding down to about 54 seconds left to go, and it is homecoming. They're going to present homecoming royalty before this game, so we will have that going on. And while we're talking about that, then I'll bring on my color man in Ben Jacobson and talk a little bit about what he expects from this game between Bear Lake and the Soda Springs Cardinals. And Ben, when you first see this game, it's a rivalry game, a lot on the line for these two teams. How should these two teams come out tonight?
Well, I'm sure they'll both have a lot of desire to win this game. Bear Lake's in the same position, they're wanting to. They haven't won a game yet, I don't believe, in district. So they're wanting to get that, and they're hungry, and we've got that one against Malad, and we don't want to obviously just be in the fourth place just skimming in. We want to establish some momentum and take some control in the district for the future as well.
When you look at this team as well, there's a lot of different potential online for where these two teams can end up going, and we will while they're announcing homecoming royalty, the loser of this game most likely will end up taking Declo on in the first round. We know as Soda Springs Cardinals, you don't want that game again. You want to try and rematch against a team that you fit better against in the schedule. In West Jefferson, a 35-0 loss, whereas it was a 63-7 loss to Declo. So you'd rather have West Jefferson on that line. But the other thing is when you have Bear Lake over there on that side of the field, it's a chance for you guys to go ahead and prove yourselves. And we were talking about this earlier. Give yourselves a little bit of momentum going into next year in conference play and in district play, because these teams are going to be the teams that are going to be leading the way.
That's right.
If you look at it, because West Side and Aberdeen losing a lot of kids after this year.
Yeah, and West Side and Aberdeen will do their best, and have good programs that will replace kids. But the last thing you want to do is get another team in the middle of that where you start saying, well, we've got to get past Aberdeen, Bear Lake, and West Side or something like that. So, and you want to catch ground on the other two, and definitely with Bear Lake coming down into 2A, you want to keep pace with them and hopefully stay ahead of them.
Now, when you look at strategy-wise for tonight's game, Soda Springs ended up winning the kick. They deferred to the second half, so Bear Lake is going to come out. What does Soda Springs have to do in these first couple of drives in order to try and establish themselves? How do they need to come out, and what do they need to do differently from the game against Declo?
Well, right off the bat, Bear Lake's going to want to try and control the clock and run the ball. So the first thing they need to do is get a stop, keep those 3-yard type plays down, or get a loss, behind the line of scrimmage and make them start to do stuff that they don't want to do, which I think they're a little stronger to run the ball, what we've seen on tape, versus pass the ball. They like about 3/4 of the time, I think, to run the ball has been their tendencies in the other games that we've watched film on.
Well, it's about time for the national anthem. We'll take a quick break here on KBRV 800 The Bear. Come back on the other side with the opening kickoff between the Cardinals and the Bears.
There has never been a better time to convert to natural gas. Even in the summer months, natural gas is worth asking for. Rage Plumbing and Heating in Soda Springs will replace your furnace that caused you problems this winter with a new natural gas furnace, or even install a natural gas water heater to keep your water hot. Plus, Reed's can add a water softener to your home. And if you want to cool things down, Reed's Plumbing and Heating will install an energy-efficient Lennox air conditioner. All at Reed's Plumbing and Heating, 180 South 3rd Street, Soda Springs.
It's so pretty here.
Katie's away at college,
There's the library.
but she can still be close to her mom back home. Travis is working on a big report. High-speed internet puts a world of information at his fingertips. Silver Star Communications provides connections that help students learn and keep families close, even when they're miles apart. Get your family in touch and informed with high-speed internet from Silver Star Communications. Call today or visit silverstar.com.
They need your help. They're overstocked with Lazy Boy and Catnapper recliners, sofas, and love seats. They'll wheel and deal right now at Sanders Furniture, Flooring, and Appliance. If you will help them make room in their showroom, they'll help you keep money in your bank account while you're enjoying high-quality, comfortable Lazy Boy and Catnapper recliners, sofas, and love seats. They need your help, and you need to save money. Wheel and deal right now at Sanders Furniture, Flooring, and Appliances on Main Street in Soda Springs.
National anthem has been taken care of, and we are just about set for football here on KBRV 800 The Bear with live stream and video online at mylocalradio.com. Caleb Burgraff alongside Ben Jacobson. Let's take a look at the starting lineups for our two teams tonight, as well the coaches are having them announced as full teams. The Cardinals will be looking at their starting lineups like this. Number 1, Morgan Steele will be on the offensive side of the football. He'll be playing running back for this team. Number 2 is Tanner Myers. He'll be working in as the offensive and defensive side of the ball. He'll be a running back wide receiver mix as well. Jake Morrison wears the number 7, a senior wide receiver. Number 9 is Andrew Stewart, normally in the starting lineup, not out in the starting lineup tonight. Grant Clegg and Chris Lloyd will be taking his place, alternating between that position. Ridge Thompson a little bit dinged up, but that junior is also going to be out there on the field wearing the number 10 on offense and defense. Devin Adams is a senior captain and a senior leader for this team as he wears the number 11, playing quarterback and linebacker. Dylan Farnes will be a running back and a defensive back for the Soda Springs Cardinals. Grant Clegg comes out on the defensive end mostly as a defensive back, but he will have some positions where he will come out on the offensive side as a wide receiver. Chris Lloyd wears the number 27. He'll be in the starting lineup tonight as a senior as well. Branson Steiner's offensive line. Matthew Smith, normally offensive line. He is not out in the starting lineup, though, in tonight's game after getting injured once again. Caden Brown and Jacob Housley will wrap up the offensive line for the Soda Springs Cardinals, and it's going to be tough for them to try and get some footing out there, and that's going to be the big thing is how does this line react after getting bullied around a little bit over against the Declo Hornets in the last contest between these two teams. Bear Lake comes out on offense like this. Captain number 2, Damon Shaw, is a senior. Number 4 is Jens Quintero. He is a captain as well and a senior. Number 8 is Theron Walentine. He wears number 8 as a junior. Number 15 is Mason Garbett. He's a junior as well. Number 21 is Bridger Steele, a senior. Captain for the Bear Lake Bears, Brevin Keach, wears the number 24. Number 33 is Samuel Roberts, a junior. And then you have the offensive line stacking up like this. Number 70, Wyatt Anderson. Number 72, Chevin Anderson. Number 76, Cannon Hayes. And number 76, Colton Keach. Both of them will have to determine which number is which on the night as the game continues. Soda Springs won the toss, I should say. They deferred to the second half, so they will kick off right to left to Bear Lake and the Bears. And it is Devin Adams set to send it away. Runs up to the ball at the 40-yard line, sends one high and deep down the field. It's going to be picked up at the 15-yard line and brought forward by the Bears. A seam opens up down the field, and it's Devin Adams who is going to finally take down Jens Quintero. But great starting field position for the Bear Lake Bears in tonight's contest as they get the ball near midfield, about 1st and 10 from the 41-yard line.
Big hole opened up there. Good blocking up front with that second wall and give him a good seam right up the middle, but our safety Devin Adams didn't get beat. But unfortunately, they're starting in good field position.
Good thing it's a running team, though. Cardinals, again, needing to come out with a little bit of a pop defensively. The 3C Grill and Grace brought you that opening kickoff. Burgers, pizza, and barbecue. Don't forget they cater as well. As under center is going to go Theron Walentine in a stacked formation. It's going to be handoff to the left side, and rolling his way forward with a good carry on that play is Roberts. As Samuel Roberts ends up getting about 7 yards on that rush.
They definitely can't allow that all night, or it'll become a very long night for the Cardinals. They've got to make a better stop at the line of scrimmage than that.
And again, I think this comes down to the play at the offensive and defensive lines, as it normally does when it comes to a defensive game. Under center, once again, is going to go Theron Walentine with 3 backs behind him in the field. They're going to hand this one off to the left side. Cutting it back up the middle of the field is Jaden Phelps, and he is going to be tackled. Loses the football at the 33. If it stands, it's going to be about a 20-yard gain. It is a 20-yard gain, but the Soda Springs Cardinals come up with the football. A 20-yard gain, but a fumble as well. And the Cardinals get a break going their way early on in tonight's game. A big turnover in the early going.
Well, I think the kid making the tackle there, I didn't see who did it, but he went after the ball. He saw it hanging out there, got his hand wrapped around it as he made the tackle, give it a good pull, just like he's taught to do. That was a good job.
Cardinals will come out in the twin formation with 2 wide receivers spread out to each side. Adams in the pistol with Myers behind him in the shotgun behind him. They'll send Christopher Lloyd into motion, hand the ball off to Myers from the near side, gets to the corner, and is rolled forward to the 39-yard line. A pickup of 6 yards for Tanner Myers on the handoff. And the Cardinals, if you're looking for a way to start this game, I think this is the perfect way to get things going here.
Well, just like we talked about with their first run for 6-7 yards, it looks like we got 5, but that gives you 2 more downs to get your other 5 yards here.
That's a good pickup for the Cardinals. It is 2nd down and 5 to go. Cardinals on their own 38-yard line in that pistol formation. Adams takes a snap. It's going to be an option. Steps up through the blitz and is going to be lucky to get back to the original line of scrimmage as he's swarmed under by several different Bears, including Colton Keach, as well as, I believe, also Brian Anderson, on the tackle as well.
Brought their, sorry to break in, but they brought their safety up there, and if we'd have had a pass play there, there'd have been nobody deep on that. So if they continue to do that, hopefully the Cardinals can make them pay there.
Things to look out for in this game. 3rd down and a long 5 to go from the 38-yard line. Adams in the pistol, sends Lloyd into motion. They'll flip it out into the flat. There's Myers, makes a man miss. He's going to have the first down up to the 50-yard line. As he's taken down, they'll mark him just shy of the 50. It goes as a 12-yard reception, and the passing game, a little slip pass out to the right side of the formation. And Myers, he's shown it before. When he gets his speed going and he can get that little bit of a burst, he can beat a lot of kids in this league.
Yeah, that's the option with the whole design of the spread there, is to get your athlete one-on-one, make you miss, and hopefully that's just how it's supposed to be done in the spread.
So the Cardinals get the first down of the night. It'll be another snap to Adams. Looks over to his right, a slant through the middle of the field, and that is going to be pulled in, an 11-yard reception for Morgan Steele, as that is his first reception since getting that concussion in the game against Firth. A big step forward for him and a great pass, as that one was on his outside shoulder and able to pull it in.
He's good catch, and he'll move the ball for you in tight circumstances.
23 yards already passing. Adams 2 for 2 as it's another 1st and 10 from the Bear Lake 39-yard line. Adams will come up under center. Will be that quarterback sneak blown up the middle, but Adams able to get another push, gets back to the line of scrimmage. The first man was
no gain on the play, 2nd down and 10.
Keach, as Brevin Keach was able to burst through the line, but again, Adams able to make it a no gain on the play. 2nd down and 10 coming up. A great job not getting taken down on that hit. Cardinals offense will again come up to the line of scrimmage. That pistol formation working right to left from the far side hash mark. Adams will again line up under center. He'll take that snap. Now he'll pitch it out to the near side. It's going to be 2 men in front of Myers. Dances his way out of some tackles, but he's going to end up getting taken down. The numbers just weren't in the favor of Soda Springs, as a good 6 or 7 Bears got through the line of scrimmage, and it goes as a loss of 4 on the play. The ball moves back to the 43-yard line.
Tyler Carlson in on the stop on that one.
We definitely know what game film they've watched.
Definitely. I mean, they are ready for that play on both sides, both options of that play, and definitely trying to shut that one down. And if you're the Cardinals, that takes away a part of your game that you used in Declo to a decent amount of success. Adams will again line up under center. They'll try the same formation. They'll take it up. A pass over the middle, almost intercepted. It goes right off of the hands of Brevin Keach, and it's the first incompletion of the Cardinals, as we've seen them prone to do so far this year. Get a little bit of momentum, and then they see it stall out around midfield or towards the 30-yard line.
Yeah, that was the play off of that they hadn't seen. That really was set up if he can get that completion.
Punt formation out for the Cardinals as Adams stands at his own 47-yard line. Good snap to him. Good kick as well. That's going to push the return man back towards the end zone. High bounce towards the line. It goes over the head of, I believe that was Ridge Thompson, who made the sprint downfield in order to try and get in front of that one. It drops into the end zone, though. It'll be 1st and 20 for the Bears at the 20, or 1st and 10 for the Bears at the 20-yard line, taking over. And as you mentioned, on that little slip pass over the middle, it was really almost lucky that Brevin Keach was right there in the way. The ball almost caught him, not him catching the ball when I said almost intercepted.
Yep. Yeah, he was hit with it rather than him catching it.
The Bears come out once again, working left to right in that 3 running back formation. 1 wide receiver spread out to the left side of the formation. It's going to be a handoff to the near side, trying to come around to the corner and getting taken out at the 28-yard line. It looks like they're going to mark it.
Tanner Myers on the stop. Good for about.
Believe it was Sam Roberts with the carry again, as that's going to be a gain of, call it 6 on the play, up ahead to the 26-yard line. And call it the 27, actually, as they mark the nose ahead of that. And it's 2nd down and 3 to go for Bear Lake and the Bears. Cardinals defense lines up 5 linebackers around the ball. It's going to be another handoff to the left side of the formation, stopped up at the 30-yard line. I think the Bears are going to get a first down on a 4-yard carry, but not a whole lot of room to go as Jaden Phelps gets his second carry and goes nowhere. It does go for a first down, but the Cardinals, again, defensively aware, able to jump on that play. It looked like almost back-to-back times the Bears came out with the same 2 plays to start out this drive that they started out the last drive. Cardinals, again, line up on defense as the Bears will line everybody up at the line of scrimmage except for one wide receiver to the near sideline. It's going to be a handoff in the backfield, delayed handoff at that, and breaking his way through a few tackles as Jens Quintero makes his way forward to the...
I think the ball come out there again. I didn't see him be down when that ball come out, but 2 Cardinals come away with the ball there, but apparently he was down, according to what the ref saw.
Gets them up to the 39-yard line. That's a run of 8 yards for Quintero. And it sets up a manageable 2nd down and 2 as the Bear Lake Bears again will come up to the line of scrimmage with quarterback Damon Shaw under center. He'll call out the count, takes the snap, drops back, hands this one off to Quintero down the left side again, has a blocker, gets it free to the first down before being driven out of bounds at the 46-yard line. It's a gain of 7 yards again, and Bear Lake right now just continuing to beat up the Cardinals at the line of scrimmage. Their only misfortune came on a fumble on their first drive and first possession of the game.
Way too much every run play so far.
And I have yet to be held to less than 4 yards on a run play, and every other one's been at least 7 and maybe 8 yards. A big play of 20 yards as well on the night as well. 3 different running backs have touched the ball as once again under center is going to be Damon Shaw. As the quarterback will take the snap, hands it off again. This side, it's going to be Samuel again. Bowls his man over as he lowered the shoulder pads, and Sam Roberts is up ahead to the 46-yard line of Soda Springs. Another gain of 8 yards, and he's already up to 22 yards on the night on 3 carries.
Yeah, the outside man here's got to come up and meet that at the line of scrimmage instead of waiting for it to come to him.
Bear Lake brings their line to the line of scrimmage once again. 10 men in the box. 1 wide receiver split to the far side of the field. Ball in the near side hash mark. Working from left to right. Another snap goes to Shaw. He's going to take this one himself. Upended at the 43-yard line of the Cardinals.
Damon Shaw
as Damon Shaw gets a good 3 yards. And it's a Bear Lake first down on Shaw's first carry of the night. Cardinals did a good job responding to that one and not going after the 2 running backs around him, instead going straight for the football. As this one gets handed off again, Quintero takes this off the left side, drags some Cardinals. He's got a 6-yard gain up to the 36-yard line, and that'll make it good for 7 yards. They'll actually mark him up by the 35-yard line. Call it 2nd down and 2.5 yards. Another big carry there, and it's, again, Bear Lake, a very simple offense that they're running right now. Just straight up the gut, maybe a little bit to the outside, but just trying to bully the Cardinals at the line of scrimmage. 4:23 to go, first quarter of play, no score on the Gate City Real Estate scoreboard. Another handoff goes to Shaw. He'll give this one off to the near side, trying to get to the edge is going to be Samuel Roberts. He has the corner taken out of bounds at the 20-yard line. A gain on the play of 16 yards. And Roberts busts off his biggest carry of the night.
Yeah, they got the end sealed in, and then they got a good block out here already on the corner, and there wasn't enough pursuit from the inside out here to make that play till way downfield.
And for the first time tonight, the Bears find themselves in the red zone, just on the edge of it at the 20-yard line. They'll again line up in that double wing formation with Shaw under center. He'll take the snap. Quick handoff to the fullback. That's going to be a big push up the gut by Jaden Phelps. He gets 5 yards on the carry. And that quick hitter works well on his 3rd carry of the night. He's got 29 yards now with a fumble, granted, but still big carries for the fullback for this Bear Lake offense.
Well, you get those outside plays rolling, and then next thing you know, bam, right up the middle, and it's all positive yardage.
And for the Cardinals, they have a new linebacker in there. It's in his 2nd start on varsity, and they're also missing the big body of Matt Smith at linebackers. The Cardinals shuffle a little bit on the defensive front. as do the Bear Lake Bears now as they go into the shotgun. Two running backs around the quarterback, Shaw. He rolls out to his right, flips one out to his short dump-off man, and it's going to be Roberts who carries it up to the 7-yard line. A gain of 8 yards on the pass. It'll be 1st and goal on the first passing play of the night. And a little bit of versatility there as the Bears show off a little bit more of their playbook to get that run. Gets them inside the red zone. 1st and 7 to go to get into the end zone. Clock continues to wind. 3 minutes and 14 seconds as it stopped now. After that play went out of bounds. Again, Shaw will be under center. Takes a snap, hands this one off quickly. It's going to be Quintero into the end zone. And Bear Lake, that is Jaden Phelps who runs his way into the end zone from 7 yards out. And Bear Lake jumps out on top in this rivalry matchup. 6-0 with 3:10 to go. A 7-yard carry right up the gut. And after a fairly pedestrian start for both of these teams, Bear Lake able to answer back.
Definitely not meeting the blockers in the hole and taking them on, and other guys there to spill that elsewhere.
And I think right now if you're Soda Springs, you're not necessarily in a bad place right now, but again, you have to find a way to get that run to stop getting huge chunks of yardage as the kick on the extra point up and good by plenty. And it's 7-0. Bear Lake on top here with 3:10 to go in the first quarter of play. Bear Lake coming back will be kicking off to the Soda Springs Cardinals on the other side of this break on your home for Cardinals football, KBRV 800 The Bear with live streaming video online at mylocalradio.com.
Here's a look at your Lalaton's food specials in Soda Springs for the week of October 15th through the 21st. And check out their Tyson's family pack of boneless, skinless chicken breasts for $1.99 each. Or their boneless beef sirloin tip or chuck roast, $3.99 a pound. Boneless New York pork chops are $1.99 a pound as well. And don't forget, if you're looking for your potatoes, they have 10-pound bags of russet potatoes, 2 for $3. All at Lalaton's in Soda Springs.
Welcome back out to the home of the Bear Lake Bears here on KBRV 800 The Bear, as well as online at mylocalradio.com. Caleb Bergraff alongside Ben Jacobson, and Soda Springs starts out with a little bit of a struggle on the defensive end. They do give up 7 points, but it took 9 minutes for Bear Lake to get onto the scoreboard here this evening.
Yeah, that was an 80-yard drive, and it was all but one pass, right?
And a lot of time came off, so the Cardinals, knowing that Bear Lake is a fairly one-dimensional team, they can spread the ball out to pass it, but won't very often. As this a line drive kick that's going to go off of the face mask of Chris Lloyd. He'll pick it up at the 31-yard line, and that is where the Cardinals offense will take over, about the same point where their offense took over the first time on the field.
Well, they need to do twice as much as they did last time. Didn't they get to about the 30?
I think that's. I think they got up to about the 35 before the drive started moving backwards. And one of the things that they're going to have to do is not be so cute necessarily with the football. I think you had some success getting to the outside, then you went to the middle and got shut down. Keep pushing that outside until Bear Lake can show they can stop it. Cardinals will come up when we'll move a man into motion. That's Lloyd, right to left on the formation. They'll give the ball off on the outside, and nobody blocks a couple of Bear Lake players as Joshua Transtrom comes up from his linebacker spot and makes a hit. It's a loss of 3 yards after the forward progress is taken into effect, and Tanner Myers for the first time tonight goes into negative yardage.
You're going to see that a lot. They like to blitz an awful lot out of the middle.
I think that's a chance for the Cardinals, too, to try and use that little dump pass they do, that little cut across the middle of the field to their advantage if they start bringing in those blitzes. Adams, again, in that pistol formation, takes a snap, drops back, big blitz in his face. It's a screen pass. Myers catches the pass. He's got blockers in front of him, cuts to the outside, just tripped up at the 37-yard line. It goes as a gain of 9 yards, and the Cardinals now have a much more manageable third down and call it 4 yards to go from the 37.
That'll bring up third down and about 5 yards.
He was barely caught there.
Just tripped up by his heels on that far sideline. Great move as well to break himself free. Read the defense well and was able to tuck in behind his offensive line. Third down, call it 4.5 yards to go from the 37-yard line. Adams in that pistol, takes a snap. He'll roll to the near side. It's an option play. They'll pitch it out to Myers. He's going to slip loose of one tackle, be rolled out of bounds into the Bear Lake bench. right in front of the official at the 39-yard line. It goes for a gain of 3 yards on the play. And it makes a 4th down and 2 to go. And the Cardinals, again, deep in your own side of the field, are most likely going to end up having to punt. They actually marked the ball back at the 38-yard line, so call it a gain of 2.
I thought that was kind of a difficult spot. At one time I saw him up around the 40, but must have been after he was out of bounds when he made that final surge.
It was right at the official when he was taken out of bounds, and with a minute 45 to go, the Cardinals, a decision here on a rivalry game. Do you go for it or do you punt? And it looks like the Cardinals are going to choose to go for it. An interesting choice, maybe just trying to get Bear Lake to jump off sides, and Bear Lake wasn't ready for it. They'll burn one of their timeouts. Cardinals winning a little bit of the battle there in the mental side of this game in order to cause the Bear Lake coaching staff to have to burn a timeout, which could be important when you're a running team.
Yes, definitely that helps out. Burn a timeout there, and it'll also give us a chance, if we do want to go for it, to talk about the right play here and make sure we got what we want ready to go. So.
And it gives Bear Lake that idea that you're willing to risk things in this game in order not to get down big.
Yep. And that's exactly it. I mean, you give them the ball the way they're running it a minute ago, and you're not doing your defense any real help right now. But they're also at the 40-yard line too. So the better statistics and coaching choices are to kick the ball, and that's what we've done most of the time this year. Anywhere near the 50, we've kicked the ball. So I'd still be surprised if we don't fall back into punt formation maybe here. But you have nothing to lose really either, so it looks like they are going to go for it.
And that is going to be the case as Adams will line up in that pistol. 2 wide receivers to either side. Cardinals on the near side of the formation. Morrison goes into formation. That's going to maybe make the decision for Soda Springs as a flag flies, and Chris Lloyd jumped off sides. An easy call for the officials there on the far sideline.
Yep, 2 guys in motion once that happens.
And that is going to...
Seaver should never jump off there because he should be waiting for the ball to be snapped anyway. He has nowhere to go that fast out there.
First penalty on the Cardinals makes it a 4th down and 9 yards to go now from the 33-yard line. And again, I think this does make your decision for you. If you're the Cardinals, you have to punt it away here, and that's what Devin Adams is going to set to do as he stands with his feet on the 22-yard line. Good snap, block, almost comes in, just gets it off, does Adams. The ball is going to take a neutral bounce, then roll into Soda Springs territory. They're going to down it at the 46-yard line, and a tough break for the Cardinals there. A poor kick, but there was pressure from the edge.
Yeah, he was lucky to get that off. Everybody in the press box behind us who's pro Bear Lake sure thought sigh of groan as they didn't get that because they thought they had it blocked for sure.
A big difference, though, of about 20 yards from where it was going to be blocked to the 46-yard line. As I said, that's where Bear Lake is going to take over with their third drive of the night. One's resulted in a turnover, one's resulted in a touchdown with a minute 33 left to go. Bear Lake leads 7-0. Under center is going to be Shaw. Once again, 3 backs behind him. He'll give this one on a quick handoff up the gut. Nobody touches him until about the 43-yard line, and it's Samuel Roberts with a big run up to the 27-yard line. Call that a gain of 19 yards, and the Cardinals, nobody on defense was able to step in and shut that hole.
Oh, that was, they blew up everybody there.
56 yards already on 5 carries.
We talk a lot about getting the linebackers dirty, and right now all of Soda's linebackers are getting plenty of blockers right in their face.
29-yard line, left to right. Bear Lake will move. A minute and 8 seconds left to go here. First quarter of play, and a offsides jump is going to come from the Cardinals. Caden Brown this time is going to give another 5 yards over to Bear Lake, and the Cardinals continuing to hurt themselves now with penalties as well as struggling on the defensive end.
We worked on that in practice, and the kids had to run an extra 10 yards every time somebody jumped. They were doing 50-yard sprints real quick.
Shaw under center again for the Bears. Takes a snap, hands this one off. That's going to be a run by Quintero. Taken up quickly, though. Gains maybe a yard on the play to the left side of the formation as he falls forward. And that is going to bring up a 2nd down and call it 3 yards to go from the 22.
Much better job there. That was only a gain of a couple yards. So
little battles that you can win right now for the Cardinals, and that was definitely one of them. 22-yard line. Bear Lake comes up on the far side hash mark. Working from left to right, 1 wide receiver towards the Soda Springs sideline on the far side. Shaw under center. Looks at the defense, calls the snap. He's going to give this one to the near side. A ton of blockers in front of Quintero, but he's only able to get about 4 yards as it is a limited gain. And the Cardinals defense all of a sudden starting to show a little bit more stick-to-itiveness to their men. And Bear Lake will get the first down, but after getting the 5-yard penalty, it was not a bad stand by the Cardinals here on that drive.
Wasn't 10 yards.
First down and 10 from the 18-yard line. Now Bear Lake will again come up to the line of scrimmage. Those 3 backs still flanking Shaw in the backfield. And the clock is going to sound the end of the first quarter before Bear Lake can get the ball snapped. That'll end the quarter. We'll take a break, come back with more. It's 7-0 Bear Lake on top here over the Soda Springs Cardinals on your home for Cardinals football, KBRV 800 The Bear, with live streaming video online at mylocalradio.com.
Cattlemen have a code of ethics. Live each day with courage. Take pride in your work. Always finish what you start. Do what has to be done. Be tough but fair. When you make a promise, keep it. Ride for the brand. Talk less and say more. Remember that some things aren't for sale and know where to draw the line. The folks at Mound Valley Cattle Company in Thatcher, Idaho are proud of the students at Grace High School, investing in the leaders of tomorrow. The Mound Valley Cattle Company, 208-339-0614.
You can always feel assured to know that you have a hospital that will handle your health care in a caring and professional manner. Bear Lake Memorial Hospital in Montpelier, Idaho offers 24/7 emergency room services, 3 physicians clinics, elder care services including assisted living and skilled nursing, dialysis, orthopedic care, physical therapy, counseling services, home health services, and much more. Health care for the entire family. Bear Lake Memorial Hospital, the most caring hospital on earth.
Welcome back out to the home of the Bear Lake Bears, and it is homecoming night for Bear Lake as they lead 7-0 and are driving with the football. Once again, we switch sides of the field. Bear Lake now working from right to left as they have the ball sitting at the 19-yard line. First down and 10 to go. And Shaw under center. He'll take the snap. Hands this one to his fullback up the gut. That's going to be a limited gain that time for Jaden Phelps. Looks like about a 3-yard carry up to the 16-yard line.
It'll be second down and 7.
Bears are spreading out the offensive carries so far very evenly. In fact, other than the 1 carry for Shaw, the quarterback, they have 5 carries apiece for the other 3 running backs in their backfield and only 1 passing play on the night in the 17 plays that they have run so far. Second down, call it 7 yards to go from the 16-yard line. Bears come up with that same 3 wide receivers in the formation, 2 backs in the backfield, a little bit of a wishbone. They're going to throw up a jump ball to the end zone, pulling it in, and coming up with the reception is Theron Wallentyne on the near side. I actually have that as Jordan Sparks who pulls that one in.
Wallentyne's supposed to be number 8, though, and he is not. He is not. I haven't seen an 8 out there, so that's got to be Wallentyne that they've changed the numbers on you.
It has to be. So Wallentyne comes up with the reception, his first of the night, and it goes for a 16-yard touchdown pass. And the Bears are 2 for 2 on their passing plays for 24 yards in that touchdown. And all of a sudden the Cardinals find themselves down by 2 scores at the early going of the second quarter. PAT coming up as Samuel Roberts set to kick this one away, lines up, sends it up, and that is good through the uprights. Make it 14-0 with the Bears on top. We'll be back with more on KBRV 800 The Bear with live streaming video online at mylocalradio.com.
mylocalradio.com is Southwest Wyoming and Northeast Utah's top website and the best source for local area news, weather, sports, and community events. And that's not all. MyLocalRadio.com features thousands of photographs of Wyoming and Utah high school events, from speech and drama competitions to local events, sports and activities, and much more. Check it out today and see what MyLocalRadio.com has for you.
Welcome back out once again to the home of the Bear Lake Bears. 14-0 the score on the Gate City Real Estate scoreboard as the Cardinals are trailing right now to the Bear Lake Bears in homecoming night for Bear Lake. The Cardinals will be set to receive this kick. This kick brought to you by the 3C Grill and Grace. Burgers, barbecue, and pizza. And don't forget, they cater as well. It'll be Roberts again to kick the ball off for Bear Lake and the Bears as the Cardinals get set to receive their second kickoff of the night. Roberts runs up, left to right. They'll squib one down the field again. It's going to roll up and over the head of Myers, finds a way to handle onto it, runs up the left side of the field, breaks through, fumbles the ball right into the Bears' hands, and it's going to be picked up by the defense, and a convoy is heading to the end zone as Bear Lake goes up 20-0. Samuel Roberts, the kicker, is the one who comes up with the football, and it goes as a 30-yard fumble recovery on the kick return.
He bobbled it a little bit trying to get a hold of it because it was a real high bounce there, just an unlucky bounce of the football. And it looked like he got it tucked away, but maybe he didn't. And then he tried to get back some of the yardage. He lost bobbling it. And unfortunately, it took a really good bounce right to a Bear Lake kid.
And Sam Roberts gets his first touchdown of the night. Bear Lake could not be feeling any better about themselves, as Roberts will get set to try and get his 9th point of the night with 2 PATs already. As the snap is good, hold good, blocked at the line though, and the Cardinals are going to get their first little bit of momentum they've had since that opening fumble on the opening drive for the Bear Lake Bears. It makes it 20-0 though. Bear Lake on top here with 11:02 to go in the second quarter on the Gate City Real Estate scoreboard. And Ben, a struggle there for the Cardinals as now the offense, the special teams, which for the last couple of games, special teams had not played that poorly, comes out and makes a big mistake in this game.
No, even against Decla, we were getting the ball at pretty decent field position, most of the time at the 35, 40. And I don't think we'd have got there even before the fumble.
It was getting to, like I said, about the 25-yard line where it looked like he got stripped and lost the football. And again, it was just a clean bounce that went right into Roberts' hands for him to try and march the ball down the field. And I thought for a second he was going to get pushed out of bounds, but he got surrounded quickly by a herd of his players, and the Bears were able to stumble their way to the end zone with that convoy that just kind of broke up the Soda defenders around them. There'll be another kick coming up for the Bear Lake Bears as Sam Roberts will get set to kick off another 3C Grill and Grace kickoff. Brought to you by them, Burgers, Pizza, Barbecue, and don't forget they cater as well. Roberts runs up, sends a line drive squib. Again, that's going to take a high bounce into Myers' hands at the 20-yard line. Runs up, avoids a few tacklers, cuts back at the 30-yard line before being bowled over at the 35-yard line. A good return there by Tanner Myers of 15 yards on what was a short kickoff.
35-yard line where it'll be 1st and 10 for the Cardinals.
Cardinals will have 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line to try and get their offense going once again. And some of their best field position they've had all night as well, although they've been right around the 30-yard line all night. As they look to try and get the offense moving again, they had a very quick 3-and-out in their last possession. They'll be working left to right from the left side hash mark. And who do you target out right now if you're the Cardinals? Which player do you think is going to try and be the main person on this drive?
Well, I think at some point in a spread you got to stretch the field. So I think we got to go either to Morgan Still or Jake Morrison over there playing the outside edges, and I think it's got to be a deep up the sidelines. Try and make them respect that throw. Right now they're all playing up in the box, and they're not doing that. See, look at their pushing right there.
No safety back as well, as this one's going to be a quick pass over to the far side, and it was a pair of Cardinals receivers in the area as Adams dropped back to throw that one, and it was in the vicinity of both Ridge Thompson and Morrison, as you were talking about, but the Cardinals can't complete that, and Adams goes to 2 or 3 for 5 completion or on his completions on the evening. Cardinals offense again just not having much luck with 10:48 to go, 2nd down and 10. They did have that good opening drive where they were able to move the ball a good 40 yards on the ground and through the air. As they go to snap to Adams, good snap, has time, but it breaks up quickly, goes over to his left. He's going to throw another short pass that's pulled in behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of a yard, and I believe it's going to be Adam Morrison, or Jake Morrison, excuse me, is going to get his first reception, but it goes for a -1 yard. Not a lot of time, though, for Adams to make a decision, as he had pressure up the middle coming towards his face quickly. 10 minutes and 17 seconds to go, 3rd down and 11 yards. Adams back in that pistol, standing at the 29-yard line. Drops back to pass, comes to the near side. He has a man over the middle. That's Chris Lloyd pulling in the pass. That's going to be a reception and a 1st down for the Cardinals across the 36-yard line, and a completion of 12 yards.
The 46-yard line.
A lot of heat on that pass as well, and good job by Lloyd just pulling that in.
Caught the linebackers playing up tight, and that was a good pass, yep. But we do that same thing up the edges now. The safety can't play both edges.
Ball at the middle of the field. Bears do drop a safety back this time as they're going to hand the ball off to the Cardinals near side. It's going to be Morrison ducking his head down and bowls over into Bears territory. A pair of flags fly back at the 45-yard line. If it stands as it is, it's going to go as a 7-yard carry for Dylan Farnes to the near side. Or excuse me, it was Thompson on the carry, but it'll be coming back as I believe a holding penalty that they are going to march back from the 46-yard line, I believe. We'll see where they end up marking the football and how much the penalty will end up being. Ball is going to be placed back at the 36-yard line. So do call it an 11 or a 10-yard penalty, 20 penalty yards on the Cardinals so far, and that has been a problem for them this season.
1st down and about 20 yards for the
9:44 to go. Clock continues to wind here. 2nd quarter of play. Cardinals with a 1st down and 20 yards to go. Adams calls out the snap count, almost gets a jump on the Bears, but does get a jump on his offensive line, as on the near side, it looks like that was...
That's the freshman, Housley, unfortunately.
It was Jacob Housley. I was going to say either that or Jeremiah Hansen, but the 2 or the 8 mixed me up. So the Cardinals get another 5-yard penalty as they have 1st down at 25 yards and penalties for Soda on the night as they trail 20-0. The offense marching backwards. Adams takes the snap, drops back, has a little bit of time, now gets flushed from the pocket, rolls to his right, and he's going to throw this one incomplete, and the back judge is going to throw a flag, and I believe this is going to be intentional grounding on the Soda Springs Cardinals. I did not see a receiver really in the vicinity of that pass.
Well, I think he was, well, I don't know.
It did not look like, I saw a lot of black jerseys over there, and I might have lost a gray jersey in that mess, and they are going to pick up and wave the flag off. So they will say somebody was in the vicinity. It goes as an incomplete pass, 2nd down and 25 to go. The Cardinals do have 5 out of 8 completions tonight, so they've done, this is maybe the best passing performance they've had with both receivers and quarterback on the same page, but the offensive penalties for 25 yards have really shot themselves in the foot. 9:18 to go, clock stopped as Adams will line up at the 26-yard line in the pistol. Takes a snap, fakes a handoff, drops back, plenty of time, hole up the middle for him, but closed quickly. And down goes Adams for a loss of 2 on the play. Tyler Carlson gets the tackle for Bear Lake and the Bears, and the Cardinals find themselves at 3rd down and 27 yards to go. The running game for the Cardinals almost non-existent right now.
Well, they're getting beat. Whether they step back and pass or whether they try and hand the ball off, you got to have better blocking on the front 4 than that.
And even just on the near side, the linebackers on the blitzes for Bear Lake tonight, including Brevin Keach, have been in the backfield, as well as number 44, Jeffrey Wu. They've been in the backfield almost every time as a snap is going to go back. It's going to be a halfback pass, near side, down the sidelines. A couple different Cardinals in the area. The ball may have been tipped in the air. The near side, it was Mason Garbett who got his hands onto the football, but it almost worked for the Cardinals. They had 3 receivers out there, only 2 Bear Lake Bears. And if you look at a different reception coming there from Tanner Myers, who put a good throw under the ball, that could be a different result for the Cardinals. And I think that's a play you might see again from Soda Springs.
Well, you definitely saw the Bear Lake coach talking to number 15, and I don't think he was happy with the coverage.
4th and 27 to go for the Cardinals, and the punt coming up with 8:26 to go. Adams to punt, good kick this time, end over end as it rolls and kicks at the 40-yard line. Has backspin on it, though, and is picked up by Soda Springs at the 44-yard line of Bear Lake. And it ends up getting just to where the Cardinals needed to get to for a 1st down. So a 27-yard kick officially for Soda Springs. And with 8:16 to go, Bear Lake will again take over on the offensive side of the football. Thanks again for tuning in. For those of you listening in on KBRV 800 The Bear, as the officials discussing things, Bear Lake discussing things as well. There is a flag on the field at the 49-yard line of Soda Springs. And it is going to be unsportsmanlike conduct on the Cardinals, and 15 yards will be marched off, and that'll move it up to the 41-yard line, I believe. And another penalty. Cardinals already up to 40 yards in penalties, 16 minutes into this game. And this has been a problem that has haunted the Cardinals so far this year, is their penalties have definitely knocked them out of drives and out of games so far this season. I don't think they've had a game where they've had less than 50 yards in penalties on the night. Even the Malad game, which they won, they had 65.
Those are unnecessary. Those are the ugliest kind, too, and it just shows your ball club's not mentally focused.
8:16 to go. Snap goes into Shaw, the quarterback. They'll hand it off to the near side. Quintero gets a good block on the near sideline. Rumbles forward to the 35-yard line where he'll be knocked out of bounds. A gain of 6 yards, and it makes it a second down and 4.
Second down and a short 5.
So second down and 4 coming up. And 35 yards on the night for Quintero, as he is has the least amount of yards for any of the Bear Lake backs so far tonight, as they have rushed for almost over 100 yards, I should say, on the evening. 7:57 clock winds. Bear Lake moving right to left. Quick handoff to the fullback, and getting stuffed at the line is going to be the body of Jaden Phelps, as he goes nowhere, and it's going to be a loss of 1, third down, and call it officially 5 on the play, as they need to get to the 31-yard line. The ball spotted at the 36. First time they've stopped that fullback really that well this night.
Good job. I believe it was Branson Steiner there, wasn't it? And Bybee that was helping out on that.
Just a good push from the defensive line. 7:23 to go, second down, call it 5 yards. Under center again is going to be Shaw. They'll hand this off to the outside, and it's going to be Roberts, who busts through a seam and kiss him goodbye. A 36-yard rush for Sam Roberts, as he ends up getting his second touchdown of the night. His first one was defensive or on special teams. This one an offensive touchdown, a 36-yard rush. And again, I don't think a Cardinal touched him all the way to the end zone. A big scamper there, and Bear Lake in full control of this game against Soda Springs and the Cardinals, as we have still the majority of the second quarter left to play, and the score already 26-0. Bear Lake is going to go for 2. Shaw drops back, lobs a pass to the end zone. Going up and pulling this one down is Wallentine. Makes the score 28-0.
Wallentine is good. That'll push your score up to Bear Lake 28.
And it's 28-0. Soda Springs trailing by 4 scores on your home for Cardinals football. We'll take a break, come back with more in the second quarter with Bear Lake on top by plenty, 28-0 on KBRV 800 The Bear and online at mylocalradio.com.
There has never been a better time to convert to natural gas. Even in the summer months, natural gas is worth asking for. Reach Plumbing and Heating in Soda Springs will replace your furnace that caused you problems this winter with a new natural gas furnace, or even install a natural gas water heater to keep your water hot. Plus, Reed's can add a water softener to your home. And if you want to cool things down, Reed's Plumbing and Heating will install an energy-efficient Lennox air conditioner. All at Reed's Plumbing and Heating, 180 South 3rd Street, Soda Springs.
Welcome back out to the home of the Bear Lake Bears, as they're going to be sending another 3C Grill and Grace kickoff down the field. Brought to you by the 3C Grill and Grace Burgers, Pizza, and Barbecue. And don't forget, they cater as well. Roberts lines a kick deep down the field, puts his full body into that one. That's going to be taken at the 5-yard line, run up by Myers, who's going to be bottled up and taken down at the 16-yard line. A short return, but a huge booming kick coming from the Bears on that one. And a flag does come out late. Flag is at the 20-yard line. And you'll hope, if you're a Cardinal fan, that this is not against Soda Springs, as Bear Lake has yet to have a penalty called against them. Cardinals have had 6 penalties. It's going to be a block in the back on Soda. That'll be half the distance to the goal, so they'll mark the Cardinals at about the 7.5-yard line, and they will take over in the shadow with their own goalpost with an offense that has struggled so far tonight.
Return on the Cardinals. That'll bring the ball clear back down.
So 1st and 10 call it at the 9-yard line, actually. So they're going to give the Cardinals a little bit of a favorable spot on that one, as they'll have 90 yards of Bear Lake turf to try and work their way forwards. Adams in that pistol formation. Bears bring up a blitz. It's going to be a quick one into his face. Pass is going to be just outside the reach of the receiver on the far sideline. I'm not sure who that was. I believe that was Jake Morrison again, though, and it goes incomplete. 2nd down and 10 coming up for the Soda Springs Cardinals. Again, deep inside their own portion of the field. And the offense finding itself a little bit stagnant with 6 minutes and 59 seconds to go. The clock is stopped right now. And the incompletion is starting to mount up now. The Cardinals 5 for 10 passing, as Devin Adams 5 for 9 passing on the night. Adams again in that pistol, looks to see if he goes to the air again. He'll hand this one off up the gut. It's going to be Farnes, has a bit of a hole, squirms his way up ahead to the 17-yard line. They'll mark him back at the 16, and it's a good run for Farnes, I believe, on that play. And excuse me, it is actually Myers on, or excuse me.
They might have got it wrong here. I think
they did get it wrong. It looked like I saw the hair, so I assumed it was Farnes, who gets his first carry for 6 yards. He had the best game on the ground for the Cardinals, but he was aided on by an 85-yard touchdown run. But it makes it a manageable 3rd down, 4 yards to go from the 16-yard line. Adams in the center, takes the handoff and is going to roll out and hands it off to the near side, getting dropped on a double reverse. On the play is Jake Morrison.
Big hit on the tackle right at the line of scrimmage.
And Morrison gets dropped for a loss of a yard on the play.
Boy, if he could have got around the edge, I think he'd still be running.
Again, there was nobody there. Everybody went. Even my eyes went to the far side of the field as well with the double reverse and just a big hit by Wallentyne at the line of scrimmage. 4th down, call it 5 yards to go, and the Cardinals are again going to get set to punt this one away after another unproductive offensive drive. 5 minutes, 45 seconds to go. Snap is a good one. Adams is going to send this one away. Excuse me, that is a new punter in the game as that one rolls its way forward. Myers sends it deep, and it rolls all the way to the 28-yard line. A kick in the end.
Down to about the 27-yard line.
Call it a 57-yard kick for Tanner Myers on that one. A great kick that just got plenty of topspin on it and rolled forward. And just what the Cardinals needed on that, as it puts Bear Lake back inside their own 30. So they have a lot longer field to try and traverse to make their way into the end zone for what would be their 5th touchdown of the night.
We've had lots of punting practice this year, so there's a couple of them that are in pretty good shape kicking.
That's one way to put it. 5.5 minutes to go here. 1st down and 10. Shaw under center, takes the snap, hands this one off to his fullback, and pushing his way forward. That's going to be Roberts again. And that's a 9-yard carry for Roberts, who breaches the 100-yard mark now. He's got 101 yards on the ground on 7 carries, adding his 8 receiving yards that he has as well, and he's had a phenomenal night so far. 2 touchdowns as well. 2nd down, 1 yard to go, ball at the 37-yard line of Bear Lake. They're working from right to left with a comfortable 4-possession lead. Shaw takes a snap. He's going to hand this to the near side. This time it's going to be another handoff to the big body of the fullback, Jaden Phelps, who runs his way forward to the 46-yard line. It's going to end up going as a gain of 8 yards on the play, and Bear Lake gets another 1st down on a big bull rush up the middle. And the Cardinals just, again, no response to this Bear Lake offensive line, which is, you and I have talked about it over the course of the season. A lot of this just comes down to the weight room. The Cardinals have not been in the weight room. Bear Lake seems like they have been and are just getting that extra push.
Definitely stronger one way or the other.
Shaw again goes under center, takes the snap. He'll hand this one off to the far side. Quintero gets his handoff. He's going to bowl this one forward into Cardinals territory up to the 39-yard line.
Soda Springs territory to about the 39-yard line.
As that's a 15-yard carry for Quintero on his 7th carry. And again, Bear Lake, they're mixing up the rotation when the Bear Lake running backs get the ball, but each one of them has 7 carries now on the night, and each one of them up to over 45 yards.
Well, that's a case of hanging your head and quitting a little bit, unfortunately, I'm afraid. I hate to see that already. I hope that doesn't continue.
First and 10 from the 39-yard line. Cardinals fake a blitz with Mumford up the middle at the middle linebacker position. A step forward from one of the Cardinals, but it's going to be a false start on the Bears as they finally pick up their first penalty.
21 jumped on this side.
And that will be Bridger Steele, who is called for that false start. It's going to be first down and 15 now from the 44-yard line. And the Cardinals, they need to do something with this on the defense. Take that and use it as momentum moving forward in the game. 4:10 to go. Clock winds here in the second quarter of play. You're already on the verge of a blowout once again, and you can't afford to get taken down by any more. Clock winds to under 4 minutes now. Shaw again under center. 3 running backs behind him. He'll hand this one off to, I believe, Quintero, who's going to be bottled up in the backfield and busted for a loss of 2 yards on the play. Near side, good job on the tackle. Chris Lloyd, one of the members who came up to finish off the tackle. I believe Devin Adams was involved as well.
Logan Mumford got off of that pile, too, at some point.
A lot of Cardinals there. The second time the Cardinals have stopped the Bears for a loss on their running game tonight, and it makes it a second down and 17. A huge chance for the Cardinals to get their defense off the field and the offense back on without surrendering points. It'll be Shaw again, end up under center. Same formation, just flipped around. Near side is where the receiver's standing, and there's another one standing on the far side, and the Cardinals are going to jump off sides this time. That'll give 5 more penalty yards on Soda Springs, who moves up to 55 yards, or excuse me, 45 penalty yards on the night. And it makes it a second down and 12 for Bear Lake. 3:07 to go. And Shaw again under center with the 2 running backs behind him and 1 split out to the right side of the formation on a wing. It'll be a fake handoff by Shaw. Cardinals aren't fooled though. A quick pass out. It's going to be completed and undercutting the wide receiver, who I missed the number. It's Bridger Steele who pulls that one in.
Third down and about.
Sorry to everybody watching. I kind of missed that one. They'd have to listen to you and take your word for it. I give them a good picture, though, of the skylights there and the outhouses.
Bridger Steele pulls that one in for a gain of 10 yards, or excuse me, call that a gain of 6 yards on the play. Only the 3rd pass of the night. And Steele gets his first reception. And the Cardinals defense will again go to work with a 3rd down and 4. Need to get a stop here. Handoff goes to Shaw under center. He's going to roll out. Plenty of pursuit behind him, trying to get to the corner. He's going to dive forward across the 30-yard line and might be close to the first down. We'll see where the official mark is. It will be a first down and a gain of 5 yards on the play.
Another Bear Lake.
Only the 2nd carry of the night for Shaw from under center. And it is a big blow to the Cardinals once again as it keeps this drive moving down the field. And with 2:08 to go, Bear Lake will be kicking the ball off at the end of the second half, or to start the second half to the Cardinals. But you were hoping, if you're the Cardinals, to keep it at 28-0 instead of going to 31 or even 35-0. Another under center formation for Shaw. As he takes the snap, hands this one off to the right side. Another big bust up the middle. It's going to be a dive forward to the 10-yard line now by Jaden Phelps as he gets himself 19 yards on the carry.
That's plenty good for another Bear Lake.
Phelps now up to 65 yards on the ground. Bear Lake over 200 yards rushing tonight so far, and it's a 1st and goal from the 8-yard line. Call it the 9. 1:37. Clock continues to wind its way down. Near side hash mark, right to left, they're going to work, and another flag comes out. This one's another false start on Bear Lake and the Bears, so they'll get their 2nd penalty of the night, up to 10 yards on that stat. And the Cardinals defense will, again, get a little bit of extra help with the ball, actually marked up at the 13-yard line. It moves back to the 18-yard line of Bear Lake. Still in the red zone, but plenty of extra room to go. And for the Cardinals, Ben, how do you adjust your defense to try and get more pressure on the backfield and into this running game without giving them those big holes?
Well, in a way, we're almost maybe getting too much depth. Got to work up and down the line and close it down on the line of scrimmage and not create lanes.
Clock winds at 1:05 to go. Snap to the shotgun is going to be Shaw. Throws this one towards the end zone pylon. Up is Wallenstein, who again pulls it in. His second touchdown reception, and Shaw tracks that one in. His second touchdown pass. He is perfect on the night for 48 yards and 2 touchdowns, 4 for 4. And the Cardinals find the score go up once again, 34-0 on the Gate City Real Estate scoreboard. 4 touchdowns in the second quarter.
Yeah, that's not the defensive effort we needed in the second quarter.
So Shaw picks up his second touchdown of the night. Wallenstein does the same. And Bear Lake is going to come up for an extra point. That's good. The PAT is good. The Cardinals now find themselves down 35-0 on your home for Bear Lake football, or excuse me, Soda Springs football. KBRV 800 The Bear with live streaming video online at mylocalradio.com.
So, I'm a dog, and I'm kind of new to this family, but I've noticed a trend. My humans do this thing where they go around and get all my toys and hide them in this basket, but it's always the same basket, and it's always the same place. And then they act so surprised when I find them. But I'm like, hello, that's where you put it last time. Humans are the worst at hide and go seek.
A person is the best thing to happen to a shelter pet. Be that person. Adopt. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the ShelterPetProject.org.
Welcome back out to the home of the Bear Lake Bears on KBRV 800 The Bear with live stream video online at mylocalradio.com. You're listening to Soda Springs Sports as the season's starting to wrap up for the Soda Springs Cardinals, but they're looking to try and find a bit of momentum going into senior night tomorrow night, or next Thursday night, against the Aberdeen Tigers. And right now, things not looking good. 35-0 they trail as another 3C Grill and Grace kickoff is sent down to the 8-yard line. Picked up there by Tanner Myers. He's going to sprint to the middle of the field, cuts up behind a couple of blockers, gets maybe to the 20-yard line, and that's where Soda Springs and the Cardinals are going to take over with first down and 10 and only 50 seconds left to go. And the Cardinals, if the offense continues the way it's been going, getting a touchdown here on this drive is going to be almost impossible. You need to find a couple of breaks with the ball at the 21-yard line and 79 yards of turf to go. First and 10 with 50 seconds left. It'll be another chance for Adams to maybe show off his arm, see how far he can throw this ball down the field. 2 wide receivers to each side. Cardinals working from left to right. Adams takes the snap, drops back, looks deep. He's going to come across the middle looking for Tanner Myers, who can't pull in the pass. It's incomplete, and it goes as a second down and 10 coming up for Soda Springs.
10 yards to go.
Tanner goes to Adams goes to 5 for 5, or 5 for 10 throwing now. And right now, just the Cardinals looking all out of sorts on offense. And again, just like they started out great, and this was the worry after the loss to Declo, that big blowout loss. Would they be able to respond if they had points put up against them early on? As another quick blitz up the middle. Adams steps into it, has running room around the near side. A flag comes out on the far side of the field before Adams is rolled out of bounds at about the 40-yard line.
There's a flag down on the play.
It goes as a gain of about 17 yards on the play on second down, but the flag did come out, and this one might be coming back. Oh, actually, it looks like the official was about to maybe mark this one off. No, it's holding against the Cardinals, and that's going to knock them back at least another 10 yards.
10 yards from the spot of the foul.
So they'll mark that back from the 24-yard line. It'll end up being a 6-yard penalty on the Cardinals. But another costly one is you get a little bit of momentum once again and then watch it disappear because of a penalty on the far side of the field. Because that flag came from the judge on the Soda sideline, and all of the action was coming to the Bear Lake sideline. And again, it's not always what your penalties are. It's sometimes when your penalties come and where they come from. Adams with a second down, call at 18 to go after the official spot. It's going to be a pass to the near side. Morgan Steele pulls that one in. He's going to run forward across the 20, maybe gets the original line of scrimmage, but another flag comes out at the 18-yard line.
6-yard gain, but there is another flag on the play.
Morgan Steele gets back to the original line of scrimmage, as I said, so an 8-yard gain.
Again, that's a holding.
And another holding penalty comes against Soda Springs. It'll be 10 yards back once again, and this time it'll cost the Cardinals a lot more than their initial one, as That one was behind the line of scrimmage, or excuse me, was ahead of the line of scrimmage. It came at about the 17-yard line, and it'll move them back to about the 7 as the ball is marched back. They'll officially mark it inside the 9-yard line, so a 3-yard penalty. But it costs a lot more than that, as again, another good play thwarted. Second down, call it 22 yards to go. Cardinals need to get to the 31 as the ball is going to be handed off up the middle. Farnes goes nowhere. He goes backwards, in fact, a loss of a yard. And Dylan Farnes is going to watch the half come to an end. The Cardinals struggling down 35-0 to Bear Lake and the Bears here on homecoming night for the Bear Lake squad. We'll take a break, come back with our halftime show on KBRV 800 The Bear with live streaming video online at mylocalradio.com.
How'd I do?
You'll get better. Tim can't wait to be a real driver. But for now, he's king of the online track thanks to Silver Star Communications high-speed internet. Reliable, consistent speeds give him the edge against players anywhere, even the other end of the couch.
Whoa. You'll get better.
Visit silverstar.com to learn more.
One stop and get everything on your list. Gas, groceries, fresh deli items, lottery tickets, and all your fish and game licenses. Patterson Quick Stop in Soda Springs is locally owned and open 7 days a week. You can check the daily lunch specials every Monday through Friday on the Patterson Quick Stop Facebook page. When you need it quick, get it at Patterson Quick Stop in Soda Springs, 111 North Hooper. Go Cardinals!
They need your help. They're overstocked with Lazy Boy and Catnapper recliners, sofas, and love seats. They'll wheel and deal right now at Sanders Furniture, Flooring, and Appliance. If you will help them make room in their showroom, they'll help you keep money in your bank account while you're enjoying high-quality, comfortable Lazy Boy and Catnapper recliners, sofas, and love seats. They need your help, and you need to save money. Wheel and deal right now at Sanders Furniture, Flooring, and Appliances on Main Street in Soda Springs.
So when you get to the corner of Smith and Orchard, you're going to want to take a left.
You are not going to
Then what you're going to do is turn onto Marcy
and Brad
Avenue.
just broke up,
and go past the first
apparently
3
she's
lights
happy
and then
about
take
it.
the next left.
I don't really
then drive
think
5
she's
more
happy,
blocks
but
and you should be
who
there.
am I to judge, right?
Park on the
Anyway,
right.
That's
I'll
what
see
I
you
heard
later
last
tonight.
night.
It's hard to concentrate on two things at once, like texting and driving. Stop the text, stop the wrecks. How will you stop texting and driving? Tell us at stoptextstopwrecks.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Welcome back out once again to the home of the the home of the Bear Lake Bears on KBRV 800 The Bear, as the Cardinals trailing big right now, 35-0 at the half to Bear Lake. Bear Lake exploded for 4 touchdowns in the second quarter after they opened up the scoring in the first quarter with a 7-yard touchdown run by Jaden Phelps. The PAT was good. That made it 7-0. After that, the second quarter opened up early on, almost right away, with a 16-yard pass from Shaw to Wallenstein. The PAT again was good, and the Cardinals found themselves down by 2 scores, 14-0. After that, it wouldn't be quick. It would be another quick strike by Bear Lake in order to get their next touchdown. As seconds later, a 30-yard fumble recovery by Sam Roberts was picked up and run forward on the return, or on the kick return, by the Soda Springs Cardinals. It would then be a 36-yard run from that same Sam Roberts and a 2-point conversion to make it 28-0. And then late in the first half of play, an 18-yard touchdown pass once again from Shaw into the hands of Wallenstein ended up giving the Bear Lake Bears their 35-0 score. The Soda Springs Cardinals completely have been shut down so far in this matchup between themselves and Bear Lake, as they have only 46 yards of total offense, 5 for 11 through the air for 43 yards in that category, 10 rushes for only 3 yards on the night, as they have also not been able to find many ways of finding success in their matchup so far on the evenings. On the other side for Bear Lake and the Bears, They have 25 carries for 22 yards, as they have averaged almost 9 yards a carry every single time they touch the ball. Their big carrier has been Sam Roberts, 7 carries for 101 yards. Another big night as well has come from Jaden Phelps, who has 8 carries for 65 yards, and Jens Quintero has 8 carries for 48 yards. Also adding in Damon Shull, the quarterback, has 2 carries for 8 yards. Passing-wise, Bear Lake has come away with 4 for 4 passing so far on the night, as they have watched as Shull has thrown every single one of his complete, including a 18-yard touchdown pass on his last one to Taron Wallentyne, and he has absolutely exploded for 34 yards on the night. Both of Wallentyne's catches have gone for touchdowns tonight on the back over-the-shoulder throws that have really worked to the advantage of the Bear Lake Bears so far on the night. And again, the score sits at the half, 35-0. The Soda Springs Cardinals struggling along to try and find their footing in this game between themselves and the rival Bruins. We'll take a break, come back on the other side with our standout student interview on KBRV 800 The Bear with live streaming video online at mylocalradio.com.
Cattlemen have a code of ethics. Live each day with courage. Take pride in your work. Always finish what you start. Do what has to be done. Be tough but fair. When you make a promise, keep it. Ride for the brand. Talk less and say more. Remember that some things aren't for sale, and know where to draw the line. The folks at Mound Valley Cattle Company in Thatcher, Idaho are proud of the students at Grace High School, investing in the leaders of tomorrow. The Mound Valley Cattle Company, 208-339-0614.
You can always feel assured to know that you have a hospital that will handle your health care in a caring and professional manner. Bear Lake Memorial Hospital in Montpelier, Idaho offers 24/7 emergency room services, 3 physicians clinics, elder care services including assisted living and skilled nursing, dialysis, orthopedic care, physical therapy, counseling services, home health services, and much more. Health care for the entire family. Bear Lake Memorial Hospital, the most caring hospital on earth.
Welcome back out to the home of the Bear Lake Bears. 35-0 at the half right now. The score sits with 6 minutes and 15 seconds left to go before the start of the second half of play. Soda Springs will get the ball. We'll talk more about that, though, after our interview with our standout student, as Shelby Storr joined us on the week, or during the week, I should say, to talk about how her season and how her skier has been going.
Caleb Bergraff here with Shelby Storr, our standout student from Soda Springs High School. And Shelby, talk a little bit about how your school year is going on. It's been about 2 months now. What have you been up to?
A lot, actually. I've been really, really busy with all of the stuff that I've been doing with classes and everything. And I am the yearbook editor, and also I'm the FFA president and student body reporter, so I spend a lot of time outside of school doing all of those things.
What are some of the classes you're taking this year?
I'm taking a musical class and yearbook, statistics, and English, animal science, and seminary, and government.
Which one of those is your favorite? As in, if you had the choice to go to any of those classes for an entire day, which one would you choose?
Definitely yearbook. We have a lot of fun in that class, and I like it a lot.
Who's your favorite teacher at the school? Now, you've been here for a while now. Which one have you enjoyed the most during your time at Soda?
That's a hard question. I really like Mrs. Pankow and Mr. Brown. They're both 2 teachers that I can relate to really well, and that I know I could always go to for advice and talk to about stuff.
Now, when you talk about all the other stuff you do outside of school, what kind of drives you to keep in those type of activities and organizations?
I really like to be a part of things, and I'm not huge into sports. I like sports, but it gives me a chance to get involved and to help out with helping school run the way that it needs to in the clubs.
It's a wide variety of stuff that you do. Which one's your favorite to do?
Oh, I don't know. Probably yearbook, just because it's the thing I get into the most, and it's probably the one that I'm best at and enjoy the most, I guess.
You're the assistant editor of the yearbook. What's the details of that job?
I have pages like everybody else, and I spend a lot of time editing everyone else's pages for spelling and design and seeing if they're going the way that the book is supposed to flow.
Any sneak peeks on the yearbook this year?
I don't know if I'm allowed to give those out, but definitely buy one. It's going to be cool. We've been working really hard on it ever since the beginning of August.
Now, do you have any stuff you do outside of school for other activities that kind of keep you involved around the community?
Church stuff. I'm on the LDS Stake Youth Council. And so I spend a lot of time doing that kind of stuff and trying to help out with that.
Have you figured out if you're going to go on a mission yet, or is that something on your horizon?
No. I am not a huge go out and talk to people I don't know kind of a person, so no.
Final couple things for you. The first one is college. Have you guys any thought to what you want to go to school for and where you want to go?
Yes, I would like to go to either Utah State or Montana State, and I'm going to go for a degree in social work, probably for my bachelor's, and then later possibly a master's in marriage and family therapy.
Final thing. What's your favorite thing about coming to Soda Springs High School? What's your favorite thing about being a Cardinal?
I love how everyone is friends with everyone and everyone likes to get involved and do things.
Shelby, thank you so much for the time, and congratulations on being our standout student. Good luck to you the rest of the year.
Thank you.
That was Shelby Storr, the standout student for this week on our broadcast here on KBRV 800 The Bear, as she definitely deserves a lot of different stuff that she does, and definitely a big member of Soda Springs High School. We'll take another break, come back on the other side with a look at the second half, what the teams need to do if Soda Springs wants to find their way back into this matchup. All coming up on KBRV 800 The Bear with live streaming video online at mylocalradio.com.
Here's a look at your Lalatin's food specials in Soda Springs for the week of October 15th through the 21st. And check out their Tyson's family pack of boneless, skinless chicken breasts for $1.99 each. Or their boneless beef sirloin tip or chuck roast, $3.99 a pound. Boneless New York pork chops are $1.99 a pound as well. And don't forget, if you're looking for your potatoes, they have 10-pound bags of russet potatoes, 2 for $3. All at Lalatin's in Soda Springs.
I'm Paul George of the Indiana Pacers. When I was 6, my days were spent playing basketball. When I was 6, my dream was to make it to the NBA. When I was 6, my mom had a stroke. So I want you to learn to spot a stroke fast. F-A-S-T. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911. I'm Paul George. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
There's an organization in southeast Idaho whose wildlife conservation efforts have been commended by the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation, the Idaho Fish and Wildlife Foundation, and the North American Moose Foundation. Who is this organization? It's Monsanto. While Monsanto is honored by the recognition they receive, their ongoing dedication to the environment is its own reward for all of us. Monsanto. Imagine.
Welcome back out once again to the home of the Bear Lake Bears, where they lead right now on the Gate City Real Estate scoreboard 35-0 in what has been a one-sided affair between these two teams. You just listened to the London Drug in Grace halftime highlights. Locally owned, locally operated, and locally loved. They're your local good neighbor pharmacy. And Ben, let's bring you back in here to the broadcast. And you look at the Cardinals' stats, only 46 total yards of offense, only 3 rushing yards. The offensive end is a concern right now, but that's been something that's been hot and cold all season long. The big concern that you have right now, and you have to have, is your defense is getting beat up right now, and you have to go and play Aberdeen next week. How do you get your defense a little bit of confidence in the second half?
Well, I went down and listened to a little bit what the coaches had to say, and they just challenged the kids to we do a drill they call Arkansas drill in practice, and he just challenged them to do what we do in that drill, where if you're getting pushed one way, you fight the other way. If you feel getting pushed back, you got to get lower and you got to regain that establishment. And that's what they got to do to try and get this running game of the Bears under control. They've got to read what they're being felt and just make plays, quickly. If you wait too long on it, they're already gone by you by that time. But they've asked them to be classy, to not do talking, but to play with their pads on the field.
Just put your heads down and try and move the ball across. And right now that defense has given up 270 yards of total offense, 4 for 4 passing for 48 yards and 2 touchdowns through the air. A defensive touchdown, or a special teams touchdown, I should also say, has been made. And it's just, again, you have to find something that you can build on going into next week right now if you're Soda Springs and the Cardinals. And I think defensively that is the place that you have to start with this team, at least getting a few stops and keeping that clock from going to a running clock as long as you can before things go too far south. They put 3 more minutes up on the board, so we'll talk a little bit more here about what else is going on for Soda Springs football. And again, senior night is going to be happening next Thursday. Yes, that is going to be a Thursday game for the Soda Springs Cardinals as they welcome Aberdeen and the Tigers into town. It'll be a very tough matchup for Soda Springs and the Cardinals against those Aberdeen Tigers, who are still ranked in the top 2 in the state right now. And Ben, what do you know about Aberdeen, and what do you know that they're going to bring to the table against Soda?
Well, Aberdeen was a second-place finish last year. They returned most of their kids. So I think you'll see a lot of it's a double wing. They played the double wing. It's a lot of like their this is a wing T we're seeing here tonight, but it's the same concept. They're going to run a lot of that power, try and get extra blockers, establish the edge, and create a lane right up the middle or right out there by the tackle. And you're gonna see a lot more. If we don't step up and do the dirty work tonight, it's gonna be a long night Thursday also.
And if you look at those wing tees, there's so much that depends on the linebackers, and that's when it's a struggle. You do have a good linebacker in Devin Adams that's been out there and has been involved in several tackles tonight, but you're also expecting a freshman in Logan Mumford to come up and make some big plays on the defensive side as well from his linebacker position. And it's not saying that he should be up to the challenge right now as a freshman going against seniors, but he definitely has. You see what they're missing in that middle of the field with Matt Smith out of the game and out possibly for the season with the knee injuries that he's suffered so far this year. And I think getting these freshmen this playing time is going to help him in the benefit, but there's definitely going to be some growing pains over the next couple of weeks as you have 2 tough challenges no matter what. As right now it certainly looks like Soda is going to go and play Declo in that play-in game. And Aberdeen at home, you have to find a way to keep kids interested in having fun in the football field while you're going through those tough tests.
Yeah, and you talked a little bit about, some kids growing, playing, some young kids playing for us. And as athletic as some of those kids are, and the fact that they've stepped up to the task that we've asked them to undertake, I'll take juniors and seniors over them guys with the same athletic ability any day. It's just plain, obvious that an older kid just feels a little confident / cocky, and in football you got to play a little confident. And right now, well, you can see who's got the confidence. The first quarter they didn't get that many points. What was the first quarter? Ended with 14?
It was 7-0 at the end of the first. The touchdown didn't come until about 30 seconds into the second quarter, and you're exactly right. Soda came out. They got the early fumble. They had that confidence. Then it quickly turned around against them as Bear Lake began to get their feet underneath them.
Actually moved 25, 30 yards that first series, and we haven't seen any of that confidence since.
And if you look at it, some of the players that you're going to really need to look forward to for those next year's team, look at really the receiving core. In fact, as Morgan Steele will be back, Andrew Stewart will be back, Rich Thompson will be back. You have to expect a good performance from those 3 players when they come back. There's still a question on who that quarterback is going to be for the Soda Springs Cardinals coming into next year, but Lish is definitely an option if he can get a little bit more athletic, as you were talking about in before the game. If he can work on getting a little bit stronger, a little bit more athletic during the offseason, getting into the weight room, and you and I have both preached about this. Getting into the weight room over the summer for this Cardinals team is going to be big to keep blowouts like this from happening.
Well, Peyton Lish, he's tried his heart out there and played a good job for us there on JV. And what you need is a kid that and he always works out hard. He's always willing to throw those extra passes at the end of a game. But you just got to look for somebody that's going to be a leader and be able to play a high caliber on that varsity team for us.
Squibb kick to open things up here in the second half as Bear Lake sends it off to the Cardinals to the 43-yard line. Well, they're open up with play. And that was another 3C Grill in Grace kickoff, burgers, pizza, and barbecue. And they cater as well. Don't forget that. As Cardinals, the offense will come out, and the best field position they've had all night after the onside kick attempt, it looked like an onside at least, and maybe a squib kick that just went off the Cardinals, and they will have a chance to move the ball down the field. Out of the half, have to get things done quick. Right to left, they'll move. Adams drops back, throws one down the field. Near side, it's going to be Jake Morrison pulling it in. A flag comes out. The pass is down to the 27-yard line.
Well, that's that play we were talking about earlier, and I won't say I called that, but at the same time I went and talked to the coaching staff, and I said, hey, I think that up the sideline is there, and it looks like it was. Even with pass interference there, that's where the matchup was.
And it goes as a 29-yard completion, the second completion of the game to Morrison, as he's got 28 yards on the night now. And again, you look at that, that is a huge emotional boost for the Cardinals if they can use that to their advantage and keep driving themselves down the field. 11:38 to go, 35-0. And the Cardinals break the huddle, coming forward to the, call it the 31 is where they're actually going to mark the ball down at. A little bit of a rough spot for the Cardinals there, but again, when you get a big jump of yardage like that.
31-yard line where the Cardinals will have the ball 1st and 10.
But the Cardinals, again, deepest they've penetrated into Bear Lake territory so far tonight, as Adams will take another snap. Looks along his line, takes a snap. He's going to pitch this one to the far side. Myers has quick pursuit behind him. Slips a tackle, though, able to high step his way through and gains 6 yards to the right side, up ahead to the 25-yard line.
Down in the backfield, but he does make about a 7-yard gain.
So Myers with one of his better runs, and all the Cardinals, again, this is, you get that little halftime breather, get to compose yourselves a little bit more, get off your heels, and maybe that's what the Cardinals did, and this might be their chance to try and get back into this game and the offense to build some of that momentum for the defense. Working right to left from the far side hash mark, 2 wide receivers to each side of Adams. He'll take the snap. Another option keeper. He's going to keep this one himself. Rolls to the 20-yard line. Another flag comes out behind the line of scrimmage. A fumble comes out as well. They're going to whistle it dead as the ball was jumped on very quickly by Bridger Steele, and I believe this one is coming back anyways, as it's probably going to be holding on the Cardinals from where the flag came from in the offensive backfield. And the officials are heading over to talk with Bear Lake, it looks like. It was a 2nd down and 5. And it is going to be a holding against the Cardinals. And again, it feels like you're turning into a broken record on this point. But Cardinals, it is offsetting, on the play.
That's good for us. There was a second flag there. I didn't even notice that.
No,
I was so focused on the one on our side that I knew was holding that I didn't see him throw. It's a hands.
To the face on the...
I believe so, yeah. Hands to the face or something.
So it'll be a replay of the down. It'll be, again, 2nd down and 5 yards to go.
Oh, boy.
Oh, both are against the Cardinals. So the illegal hands to the face ends up, it'll be, we'll see what they mark it back. It'll go to the 32-yard line, or the 37-yard line, and ends up being again, a 64-yard penalty night for the Soda Springs Cardinals. The holding penalty is the one that will be accepted by Bear Lake. 10:59 to go, 35-0 on the Gate City Real Estate scoreboard, as the Cardinals will again line up on the offensive side with 2nd down and 17 to go. Dropping back is Adams, throws one down the field to the near side. Another seam route is going to be tipped around, and Myers, does he catch it? No signal yet from the official, and they are going to give him the pass at the 2-yard line. Call it the 1. A completion of 36 yards on a juggled catch by Tanner Myers. A 36-yard completion.
It looks like on the reception.
And wasn't Tanner Myers in on that? That was Tanner.
I believe it was Tanner Myers that caught that pass, so the PA got it wrong. But the Cardinals have the ball on the 1-yard line with a chance to punch this one in and get their first touchdown of the game. It'll be a quick quarterback sneak, and Adams ducks in behind his line, pushes his way forward, and they are going to, no signal yet. He's in the end zone with a 1-yard touchdown run, and the Cardinals get a little bit of extra momentum that they can take with them, down 35-6 now with an extra point pending. Great way for the Cardinals to start out the half in the passing game. We've been waiting for this to really develop so far this season. And for the first time, it's really taken that extra step forward. So Adams will be on to attempt the PAT and try and give the Cardinals their 7th point of the night. Flag comes up, kick is well through the uprights and good. And this one is going to be a false start on Soda Springs, and it'll be another 5 yards against the Cardinals. 69 yards in penalties on Soda Springs now. And it will be another attempt at the PAT, so that not good quite yet, as that'll move the ball back out to the 8-yard line now. Another chance for the Cardinals to try and kick this one through from the center of the field. But they are on the scoreboard. Extra little bit of momentum maybe they can take with them, and it was a quick scoring drive too, only a minute and 43 seconds as this kick up, and it is well through the uprights. That a great kick coming from Devin Adams. That one would have been good on the 18-yarder, it was good, but that one would have been, or 28-yarder, that was good, but that one would have been easily good from back at around probably the 25, 30-yard line, as that had plenty of leg underneath it.
Good adjustments there by the coaching staff at halftime. Now the big test here will be defense. If they can do the same thing and establish a little bit of run defense, we'll like what we see.
We'll take a quick break here on KBRV 800 The Bear with live video streaming online at mylocalradio.com.
Cattlemen have a code of ethics. Live each day with courage. Take pride in your work. Always finish what you start. Do what has to be done. Be tough but fair. When you make a promise, keep it. Ride for the brand. Talk less and say more. Remember that some things aren't for sale, and know where to draw the line. The folks at Mound Valley Cattle Company in Thatcher, Idaho are proud of the students at Grace High School, investing in the leaders of tomorrow. The Mound Valley Cattle Company, 208-339-0614.
Welcome back out to the home of the Bear Lake Bears in Montpelier, Idaho. The score sits at 35-7. Soda Springs right now trailing by 28 as they'll attempt the onside kick. That one will be recovered. No, it's going to go out of bounds. Trying to save it from going out of bounds was the man on the far side of the field. I didn't catch the number. You might have a better idea of who lines up on that far side.
I'm sorry, I did not see. No, I know he was just inches short there. If that gets just a little bit more hang time, that's a recovered ball. It was right there on the edge there, wasn't it?
And it'll end up going out of bounds. We'll see what Bear Lake decides to do on where they'll take the ball, or if they have Soda re-kick this one. And they're going to take the ball at the 36-yard line, or excuse me, the 41-yard line, where they'll take over with 1st and 10, up 35-7 on the Gate City Real Estate scoreboard. They'll come out. Cardinals stack the box. Only one man outside with the wide receiver. It's going to be a run to the near side. Again, Sam Roberts is going to be bottled up quickly. That's the defense the Cardinals needed. A gain of nothing.
Goes around the right side, a gain of about a yard.
Roberts shut down on that one as they'll mark him maybe a half yard forward to the 41.5. And there's that gang tackling and that quick defense that the Cardinals really needed to have on that first play.
Well, Adams took on the lead blocker there, and it made him just step around there. And before anybody could get anything else done, you had your help from your outside linebackers. A nice job there by the outside backers. And
ball to the near side hash. Cardinals will be defending as the Bears work from left to right. Another triple reverse this time as the ball goes to Walentine. He's stripped. Ball's on the ground, and it's going to be curious to see who recovers it as the Cardinals are jumping around. They think they have it. We'll see what the official ruling comes up as, and it is Soda Springs football as the offense takes over. Walentine stripped for his first fumble of the night on a carry for 5 yards, but the Cardinals end up getting the ball back on their second defensive turnover tonight.
Walentine coughed that up. Somebody stuck a hand in there, and then I believe it was number 40, Winfield, that was able to recover that. Younger player, it's been putting in his time on JV, that's done a great job.
This is where Mr. Moe can jump into the Cardinals quickly, and a flag is going to come out.
Too many men in the huddle.
And it's a 12, yep, exactly. As
flag on the play, 12 men on
they
the field.
broke the huddle with 12 men on the field. That'll cost them 5 more yards.
Oh.
And again, it's you keep getting these breaks for Soda Springs, And each time penalties end up marching them back, and right now they're up to
That'll bring up 1st and 10 from the
11 penalties tonight for 74 yards. Adams in that pistol formation with the ball just on the Soda Springs side of midfield. They're going to hand this one off. No, Adams keeps it. He's wrapped up quickly in the backfield as 5 Bears rumble through. It's going to be a loss of 5 on the play, and the Cardinals will have a 2nd down and 15 from the 45-yard line or so. Or excuse me, it'll be at 20 yards. I forgot about the penalty. So 2nd down and 20 yards to go after the loss on that play. Cardinals come up to the line of scrimmage. Adams takes a snap, another blitz right in his face. Screen pass out to the far side. Taken in that time by Myers, who's going to trip up at the 43-yard line and leans his way forward as he gets up to the 41. Gains 15 yards on the play, and the Cardinals able to get a much more manageable 3rd down.
Good screen pass there. It's good blocking out in front of him.
And that is the 5th reception for Myers on the night, and gets the Cardinals up to 123 total yards through the air now as Adams drops back to pass. Looking deep, comes back short, a diving attempt to pull that one in. It was Christopher Lloyd who had a chance to pull it in, but the pass, it was a second guess by Adams and not a good decision by him on that.
Well, the problem with that is even if it's completed on the 40-yard line. That's right on the line of scrimmage, maybe a 1-yard gain. Soda needs to give them a chance here to get that 1st down and to throw a ball that's beyond the yard markers here.
4th down, 5 yards to go from the 41-yard line. Cardinals going for it, working right to left inside Bear Lake territory. It's going to be Adams. Plenty of time to throw. Comes over the middle, popped up into the air as the ball blowing up over the middle of the field is going to be Morrison, I believe, or is that Ridge Thompson who came up from the middle? Either way, it's a turnover on down, so the Bear Lake defense holds, but the Soda Springs Cardinals offense did show that they could get that big chunk of yardage every once in a while with a 15-yard gain that made it a more manageable and at least allowed them to go for it on 4th down. 8:14 to go now here in the 3rd quarter. Bear Lake retakes the ball with 1st and 10 from the 41. So essentially what they lose is 2 minutes worth of clock, which if you're Bear Lake, you're enjoying that. Shaw under center, takes a snap. He's going to hand this one off to the near side. Quintero with the lead host of blockers, able to get around to the edge and taken out of bounds at the 50-yard line. A 9-yard carry for Quintero, and again, just followed behind that mass of blockers in front of him, and there was a wall that the Soda Springs Cardinals just couldn't get through.
Well, that was a called blitz, and unfortunately the blitz went to the right of the defense, and the ball went to the left of the defense. So it left Grant Clegg actually pretty lonely over here. He did a good job of just stringing that out.
2nd down, call it 2 yards to go from the 49-yard line of Bear Lake. Snap goes to Shaw. He's going to hand this one quickly to the fullback, that is not Roberts. That is a run by Jaden Phelps, who is bottled up. He ends up falling forward for a gain of 3 yards, but the Cardinals, again, a great job just coming up the gut and stopping that one, keeping that one to limited yards, and it brings up a 1st down and 10, but it, again, limits and slows down the drive and pursuit coming from Bear Lake as the clock winds with under 8 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. 35-7 Cardinals trail as Bear Lake breaks the huddle and comes forward to the 48-yard line of Soda Springs from the near side hash. 3 backs in the backfield in that wing T formation. Shaw takes a snap. It's a quarterback keeper up the gut. Quick burst is going to gain him 4 yards. And a little quick keeper that the Cardinals weren't expecting ends up making it 2nd down and 6 to go from the 44-yard line now.
Well, we split our front a little bit there. I think we're in a 5 anyway, and they read it and they took advantage of it.
Quick huddle. Quickly back to the line of scrimmage. Shaw takes it. He's going to pitch this one out to the far side. Quintero with room around the edge has the 1st down across the 30 now and is finally forced out of bounds at the 28-yard line. It goes as a gain on the play of 16 yards.
One thing I want to mention, and I really like there, Grant Clegg pursued clear from this side of the field. He would have made that tackle clear from this side had one of the other guys not get there. There was a full 11-man pursuit there, a full effort from the men in the gray.
And that's all you can ask for if you're the Soda Springs Cardinals, is to get everybody sprinting as hard as they can to the football. First down and 10, 27-yard line. Call it the 28 as the Bears will take the snap. Handoff goes to Quintero again as he again has a seam forward to the 10, to the goal line and in for a 28-yard touchdown for Quintero. And on his 11th carry of the night, he gets to 111 yards and a touchdown. And the Cardinals find themselves right back where they started the quarter at, down 41-7 after another big chunk of yardage is reeled off by Quintero. And that almost exact same play as well as Gents Quintero just took that pitch and was able to string out the defense with nobody really able to hold him up. So another PAT coming.
To attempt the extra point here.
As Roberts will attempt the PAT.
On the hold.
Ball held at the 10-yard line. Good snap, good hold, good kick, and it is through the uprights. Another good PAT. And it makes it 42-7 on the Great City Real Estate scoreboard. Back with more after this on KBRV 800 The Bear and our coverage of Soda Springs football online at mylocalradio.com.
MyLocalRadio.com is Southwest Wyoming and Northeast Utah's top website and the best source for local area news, weather, sports, and community events. And that's not all. MyLocalRadio.com features thousands of photographs of Wyoming and Utah high school events, from speech and drama competitions to local events, sports and activities, and much more. Check it out today and see what MyLocalRadio.com has for you.
Another big drive by Bear Lake ends up getting them down the field quickly. They traverse the field 59 yards in just about 2 minutes off the clock, and 2.5 minutes, call it, off the clock, with it ends with a 28-yard touchdown run by Gents Quintero, and the Cardinals will be set to receive again, down 42-7. Deep kick is going to be fielded by Tanner Myers at the 9-yard line, picks it up off the turf, runs back to the middle of the field, tries to string out the Bears defense, but it ends up going for about a 6-yard return, and Soda Springs will take the ball at the 15-yard line. And I think if you're Tanner Myers, you would have been better suited just keeping going up the sidelines there instead of trying to stretch out the defense. 42-7. Two teams have played to a 7-7 tie here in the third quarter, and I think if you're Coach Cliff Garbett on the far sideline, you need to look at this as a one-half game now. See if your team can win the second half of this contest. Adams in that pistol formation, checks the defense around him, calls out the snap. He's going to pitch it out to the right side. Out there with it is going to be Farnes, who gets spread out, cuts his way forward at the sideline, and is able to maybe gain a yard on the play. We'll see where they officially mark him to, and they're actually going to give him a very favorable spot. Call it 3 yards.
He lowered his head, got up there right instead of going out of bounds, and it got him 3-4 yards there instead of just a 1 yard gain.
And that's something you and I have been talking about so far tonight, is whether or not of the ability and the desire to put your head down and get those extra yards like that. Second down, call it 7 yards to go from the 18-yard line. Adams takes a snap, drops back, looks to pass. He hesitates, pump fakes, slips through a couple of hackles before being rolled forward back to the original line of scrimmage. It'll go for no gain as he is able to avoid the sacks.
Right at the line of scrimmage.
A good job by working his way up the field. Third down, and call it 6 yards again from the 19-yard line. So they will give him a yard on the carry. 42-7. Clock continues to wind at 5 minutes and 21 seconds as the Cardinals will once again huddle up. They come back forward, needing to gain about 6 yards to get that first down on third down here. Working right to left from the middle of the field. Adams sends a man into motion. That's Morrison. Drops back, looks near side. That is Morrison, who was attempting to complete the pass to. It was Thompson who went into motion. Adams incomplete on the attempt to find Jake Morrison, and it brings up 4th down and 7 to go, and the Cardinals will most likely be punting once again. Adams just a little bit off on some of his passes right now on a night that has turned fairly cold here at Bear Lake High School on the campus here. It is not something that you need to help your receivers out as much as possible if you're a quarterback. 4th and 6, good snap to the punter as Myers going to send one deep, had plenty of pressure in his face, And the kick is going to roll forward. Good bounces for the Cardinals. It's again inside the 30 to the 29-yard line.
All the way down to the 28-yard line.
A 52-yard punt.
On the
There's a flag down. This one over on the far side of the field at the 45-yard line. We'll see who this one is going to come against. Again, it puts the ball at the inside of the 30-yard line for Bear Lake. A great pump by Soda. Right now the official's pointing back against Soda. One of them is.
They were holding the chains from moving up the sideline there. I know Steele and another kid got in a little bit of a wrestling match over there about where that was, and I don't know how this will go either way.
Could be offsetting penalties and a redo of the kick. Or...
Well, and that would be unfortunate. That'll hurt us worse than them. I really think so.
As again, that was a huge kick on that play of 51 yards. Again, it's going to be a personal foul, face mask against the Cardinals. And
the call then is a personal foul, face mask on the kicking team, the Cardinals.
We'll see how they march this off. It could just be 15 yards off the end of the play, and I believe that's what it'll be, as it was after the kick was in the air. And it'll move the ball up to about the 45-yard line. But again, it takes a punt that was 52 yards and cuts it back down to 37 yards. And it's 15 more penalty yards against the Cardinals, who are quickly approaching 100 yards on the night. They have 89.
That'll put the ball right close to the 45-yard line, where the Bears will take the ball 1st and 10.
And it helps out a Bear Lake offense that is 10 points away from starting the running clock here in the contest here on homecoming for Bear Lake.
For the Soda Springs Cardinals.
A lot of fans here wearing blue and black. Plenty of fans as well making the trip to the far stands for the Soda Springs Cardinals. As the Bear Lake Bears come up under center, Shaw takes the snap. He'll hand this one off behind him. It's going to be Quintero again, who's swarmed under at the 47. A gain of 2.
To number 4, Jets Quintero.
And Quintero gets his 113th rushing yard of the night. He's got 12 carries and averaging just about 10 yards every single time he touches the ball. And he only had really the one big run so far this evening as well. So it's been a consistent ability to carry the football. Some of the backups warming up, it seems, on the near sideline for Bear Lake. As a couple of players starting to throw the ball around on the near sideline, as Shaw will again bring his line up under center. Takes a snap. It'll be another handoff. This time it's going to be given off to the trying and pushing yards of Jaden Phelps, who doesn't give up and comes forward to the 38-yard line of the Cardinals. It's a 15-yard gain for Phelps.
And that run's going to be good enough for another Bear Lake.
And the Bears all of a sudden are 17 yards away with Phelps from getting himself to 100 yards. And they'd have 3 running backs with 100 yards on the night. As it's just they don't give up. They keep moving their feet. They do exactly what a running back coach teaches you, and that's never stop moving your feet. It'll be a power I formation, 2 wide receivers to the far side, more conventional here if you're Bear Lake. A pitch to the outside. Quintero's got the edge, plenty of yards in front of him. Another 10-yard carry. Flag does come out after 13 yards on the play.
Pitch goes down the left side.
We'll see what this one goes as, and it looks like it's going to be against Bear Lake.
There's a flag down on the play.
It'll still be a significant gain on the play by Quintero as they push the flag up to the 30 or the 27-yard line. See what the official call goes at. Still waiting on the official. And wait for the white hat to give his official judgment. And still no official signal. They'll mark the ball to the right back to the original line of scrimmage. So it is a penalty, but it is essentially no yards on the penalty. And it'll bring up 1st down and 10 once again from the 38-yard line.
Cardinals, but I think it was a holding on the Bears, 10 yards from the spot of the foul.
So holding will force the Bears to try it once again. They'll come out once again stacked in that wing T with 1 wide receiver to the far side. That is going to be Wallentyne, who comes into the motion to the near side of the formation. From left to right, snap goes to Shaw. They'll fake the handoff up the middle. It's going to be Quintero coming to the near side. Makes 2 men miss and falls forward to the 31-yard line. Gets 8 yards on the carry. Call it 7 yards, actually. And another big gain for Quintero, and 2 Cardinals over pursued, and were just brushed out of the way by Quintero back-to-back. Another chance to stack him up, and the Cardinals failed to do so.
On those plays, you know, the corners can't come up and add too much run support because they're afraid that somebody will still drop out of there and it'll be a halfback type pass. But at the same time, they've got to help with it too, because
power I formation, again a run to Quintero, and again just not stopping his feet, falls forward again. It'll be an easy first down, a 6-yard carry that time.
25-yard line. And that run's going to be good enough for another Bear Lake.
And Bear Lake will get another first down up to the 25. Clock will continue to wind forward once the chains are set, with it at 2 minutes and 13 seconds and counting. 42-7, Bear Lake on top here in quarter number 3 on the Gate City Real Estate scoreboard. And they're going a little bit more conventional with their play calling right now, just trying to continue this clock, keep it grinding down. The starter still on the field as Shaw will go up under center once again. Looks at the defense, and he's going to get a Cardinal to jump off sides up in the middle of the defensive line. An easy call there, and 5 more penalty yards are going to come up against the Cardinals as they move to 94 penalty yards on the night.
Well, and that's the same player that jumps off sides on that every time.
As I believe that is Caden Brown from his defensive tackle position.
Right in front of the ball.
Another snap, first down and 5. Roberts takes the ball as Sam pushes his way forward to the 20-yard line. Gets a push from the pile as they're going to end up mashing him down against the ground with several bodies on top. It goes as a gain of 6 yards for Roberts. They'll mark the ball at the 14-yard line. It's good for another first down.
14-yard line. It looks like that's good enough for another Bear Lake.
So Bear Lake marches to the 15-yard line now. Call it the 16 with 1st and 10. Continue to creep up on that goal line, trying to get to their 49th points of the night, at least the 48 pending the extra point. They'll come back out in that pro formation. The power I with a tight end on the left side, 2 wide receivers to the near side. They'll fake the handoff, pitch it to the near side. Coming up and trying to hurdle a man is Quintero. Gets 3 yards on the carry up ahead to about the 11.5.
Quintero.
Cardinals defense, good job reacting to that
3
one.
yards on the play. That'll be 2nd down and 7.
130 yards on the night now for Quintero, with 43 seconds continuing to march off the clock. This could be the last play of the 3rd quarter as Bear Lake really taking their time right now. And again, I mean, the clock's their friend, and also I think they're trying to show a little bit of sportsmanship out there as well and not necessarily rushing up to the line.
Yeah, they want this game to be over so they can celebrate.
It'll be 2 wide receivers to the far side, 1 to the near side, as now a couple men go into motion, and they'll put 3 wide receivers to the far side with Shaw in the shotgun. Takes a snap, flips this one out to Roberts, takes the pass, and a quick reaction coming up from Ridge Thompson, but it's not going to be enough as into the end zone is Sam Roberts for the 3rd time tonight. That's a 12-yard catch.
Good run by Sam Roberts to punch it into the end zone.
And Shaw picks up his 3rd passing touchdown of the night, and he continues to be perfect on the evening, 5 for 5 throwing the football.
A lot of missed tackles on that play.
And it just continues to show the struggles the Cardinals have had on the offensive side of the football. Shaw, as I said, will be the holder. The ball at the 10-yard line, a 20-yard PAT attempt coming up for Bear Lake. Good snap. They're going to fake it, rolling to the near side. Shaw throws this one towards the end zone, wide open, and pulling that one in is going to end up being number 15, Mason Garbett.
For a 2-point conversion, that'll push your score all the way up to 50 for Bear Lake and 7 for the Cardinals.
And there is the big dagger, a second 2-point conversion on the night. And the Cardinals find themselves down 50-7, a half a century put up on the Cardinals tonight. We'll take another break, come back with more on KBRV 800 The Bear with live streaming video online at mylocalradio.com.
If you own a gun, you have a full-time responsibility. When you aren't using it, be sure it can't get into the hands of curious children, troubled teenagers, a thief, or anyone else who might misuse it. Your family, friends, and neighbors are all counting on you. Remember, always, lock it up. For more information on firearms storage safety, visit ncpc.org. This message brought to you by the National Crime Prevention Council, the Bureau of Justice Assistance, and the Ad Council.
Welcome back out to the home of Bear Lake as the score sits at 50-7 on the Gate City Real Estate scoreboard. Cardinals down by 43 as a kick is going to come deep down the field, fielded by Tanner Myers at the 10-yard line. Comes up the near sideline, cuts back around a blocker, gets through the defense and rolls forward to the 32 as the third quarter comes to an end, and the Cardinals will have good starting field position to get the ball back as they will look to try and march down the field and get back into this game, at least cut into the defense of the Bear Lake Bears. Back here after a quick break on the end of the third quarter. 50-7 the score stands on the Gate City Real Estate scoreboard on KBRV 800 The Bear with live streaming video online at mylocalradio.com.
There has never been a better time to convert to natural gas. Even in the summer months, natural gas is worth asking for. Reed's Plumbing and Heating in Soda Springs will replace your furnace that caused you problems this winter with a new natural gas furnace, or even install a natural gas water heater to keep your water hot. Plus, Reed's can add a water softener to your home. And if you want to cool things down, Reed's Plumbing and Heating will install an energy-efficient Lennox air conditioner. All at Reed's Plumbing and Heating, 180 South 3rd Street, Soda Springs.
One stop and get everything on your list. Gas, groceries, fresh deli items, lottery tickets, and all your fish and game licenses. Patterson Quick Stop in Soda Springs is locally owned and open 7 days a week. You can check the daily lunch specials every Monday through Friday on the Patterson Quick Stop Facebook page. When you need it quick, get it at Patterson Quick Stop in Soda Springs, 111 North Hooper. Go Cardinals!
Welcome back out once again to the home of the Bear Lake Bears right after the start of the fourth quarter. It's going to be a flipped pass out to the far side, almost intercepted as it bobbled around. It'll be an incomplete pass. The Cardinals now 18 passing attempts and 8 for 18 on those 18 passing attempts tonight. It brings up a second down and 10 yards to go from the 32-yard line. The Cardinals moving from left to right, down 50-7 here at the start of quarter number 4 with 11:55 to go on the big scoreboard. And the Bears defense looking for a quick stop, maybe a quick score, and get this clock to running to try and get into the party that's supposed to happen in the cafeteria after all this is over on homecoming weekend. It'll be another snap to Adams. He'll send a man in motion. That's Thompson. Snap goes to Adams, looks down the field. He's going to have a man through the hands of Jake Morrison. Morrison was there, but just couldn't close his fingers around it. And it goes as a second straight incompletion. Third down and 10 coming up for Soda Springs now at the 32-yard line.
That looked like it was on the money from this angle. I don't know if it was behind him or what, but it looked like Morrison just missed that one.
Maybe thought about running with the ball before he caught it, because I was with you on that one. That looked like a very catchable football for Soda Springs and the Cardinals there. 11 minutes and 11 seconds clock running. So maybe they've started the running clock early. As Adams will go into the shotgun, pitches this one around to the near side. It's going to be a pitch to Morrison, who is going to be pulled down. And that's Tanner Myers, who is going to gain about 5 yards on the play.
5 yards. That'll bring up
Tanner, 6 carries for 12 yards tonight, and the clock at 10:45 will continue to run. 50-7. Cardinals trailing, looking to try and find a way to keep the drive alive. We'll see if they go for it here on 4th down and 4 yards to go from the 38-yard line.
We're in a situation like this in Declan. We just decided, what do you got to lose, right?
And instead, this time they're going to punt the ball away, it looks like, as Myers again back to kick this one off. Gets a good snap, good hold, and a good kick. Once again, Myers has been very good tonight with his kicking game. That's another beautiful one inside the 20, down towards the 10. It's going to stop at the 11.
About the 12-yard line. Bear Lake will take over 1st and 10.
A 50-yard kick. That's 3 50-yard kicks for Tanner Myers on the night.
Sorry. Just looking to see here who number 3 was. He's a senior for him.
Keegan Arnell. But the Cardinals, again, Myers, if there's a huge bright spot to take out of this, his kicking game completely on point.
It's been really good.
First down and 10 for Bear Lake. They'll take over at their own 11-yard line. They'll actually mark it up ahead to the 12, so it makes the kick officially 49 yards from the line of scrimmage. Bears comes trotting up as they're going to come out in that wing tee once again. Shaw still in the game. Clock continue to march its way down with it being running clock here now in the fourth quarter. Shaw takes the snap. He's going to hand this one off to the far side. Roberts able to bully his way forward to the 21, a 9-yard gain.
Sam Roberts. Good strong run.
And 116 yards on the night now for Sam Roberts, along with his 3 scores. And he scored 3 different ways as well, 1 receiving, 1 rushing, and 1 on defense and special teams. And with 9:19 to go, clock continues to march down with the ball at the 21-yard line. The Cardinals defense looking back to the sidelines to get the play. See if they bring any heat here. 2 wide receivers come out to the near sideline in that I formation. Snap goes into Shaw. It's going to be handoff to the fullback, and bullying his way forward once again. This time is going to be, I believe,
3-yard gain right up into.
They say Sam Roberts. I thought it was Jaden Phelps
Bear Lake
who took the ball. It is Roberts, though, and Roberts gets a gain of 3 on the play. So 119 yards tonight now for Roberts. Bear Lake well over, 300 yards rushing on the night with it 50-7, 8 minutes and 30 seconds. Clock continues to wind. Bear Lake up to the line of scrimmage. You're starting to see some blue pants out there from the JV team as they're getting a few extra kids into the lineup. Snap again goes to Shaw. No, new quarterback into the game. That's number 30. And running his way forward is going to be Joshua Transtrom.
Good for about
I believe that was Transtrom on the carry, who gets 7 yards on his first carry of the night. And again, Bear Lake starting to shuffle in several different players, and it was not Shandstrom. I do not know who that was carrying the football now for Bear Lake at that point in time. In the game at quarterback, I will update you, it is Evan Nate, I believe, wearing the number 30. Snap goes off to Nate. Once again, it's going to be handed off the right side, and a short gain on that play as McKay Alleman,
very close to a first down. Looks
who
like
I'm looking for on my roster and I cannot find,
down and short for the Bears.
Ends up getting about 2 yards. It'll be a 3rd down and call it a yard to go. As again, Bear Lake lines up under center. That wing tee, it's going to be a quick reverse to the near side. The Bears aren't going to get it. Stuffed at the 30-yard line, coming up with the tackle on the near side.
4th down and about 3 yards to go.
And not seeing the number, waiting for its turn. I believe that Dylan Farnes coming up with the tackle as he broke up that play quickly on the reverse. Stayed home instead of going for the initial dive up the middle. And it goes as a loss of 2 yards. 6:50 to go. Clock continues to move. Pump formation for Bear Lake. A high snap going to be fielded, though, and the kick is away. End over end. Low kick bounces its way forward to the 35, the 30, and down to the 27-yard line. And that's where the Cardinals will take over with 6.5 minutes to go as soon as the 2 teams take the field, and the clock is started once again by the officials as the chains get set. So the defense gets their first true stop of the night, although it comes against the JV team for Bear Lake, who has been playing the majority of the fourth quarter here tonight. Cardinals offense, we'll see if any of their JV players make it onto the field. So far, mostly starters, it looks like, as the play is called out. And it will be Adams in that pistol formation. Set to take the snap, drops back to pass, looks down the far sideline, throws a bullet down the sideline. It's going to be almost hauled in and dropped. Tanner Myers had the ball in his hands and couldn't hold on to it. And there was tight coverage, but that was a pass that Myers has to pull in.
I was going to chuckle at that because I didn't, there was coverage there, but that was a easily completed pass, actually.
That was it was in stride.
Yep.
Perfect spiral down the sidelines, and that just goes, that's almost the exact way the Cardinals season has just gone this year, is just little breaks that they have not been able to catch at certain times in the game. And it's a new quarterback, Jake Morrison, now playing quarterback for the Cardinals. I should say that and update you on that as he's going to take this one, tries to run around, stops before he gets to the line of scrimmage. Not sure what he was doing there. And Dylan Farnes holding his arm out going, I don't know what you're doing. And that goes as no gain for Jake Morrison, and he is down on the field and hurt. He got hit hard on that play as he looked to cut upfield, stopped his momentum, and then got hit by the defense.
Kind of a twisting injury there as he was tackled. He was kind of swung down kind of by that leg. And
tough to see a kid get hurt here. Clock stops with 5:21 to go as the trainers and the coaching staff come out to talk to Morrison, who's lying on his back at the 24-yard line in the middle of the field, right about where he got hit. And now the water coming out from the sidelines for the two teams as they're both going to huddle up near their sidelines and let the work be done on Morrison, who played quarterback for this team last year. And for a lot of people, we mentioned Lish maybe being the quarterback next year, but also Morrison has a lot of opportunity to maybe step into that quarterback position as well for Soda Springs next year, as he's been the backup quarterback all season long for the Cardinals in this game, or on the season, I should say.
Not putting much pressure on that left leg.
So he will most likely be out. I was talking with Coach Cliff Garbett, and he was dinged up coming into this game.
Yeah, they're carrying him off.
Yeah, he's not having any pressure, and you'd hate to see another. You hate to speculate on it, but with the way the injuries have happened for the Cardinals and with them being so careful with it, you'd hate to see another knee injury. But that seems to be what it might be.
Keys with the Chicago Bears keychain. If you see those, please bring these up to the announcer's booth.
So we'll see who the Cardinals run out for quarterback this time, as I'm assuming it's going to end up being Devin Adams, who stands over by the coaches right now on the far sideline. And the Cardinals offense will slowly walk back out onto the field. Again, 5:21 to go on the clock here in the fourth quarter. It is running clock. So as soon as the snap happens, the clock will begin to continue to march down. It is Adams who comes back out onto the field to play quarterback again. I think he thought his night on the offensive side might have been done, but now he has to make a return as he will come up to the line of scrimmage. Third down, 10 yards to go. Cardinals looking to try and work this against the JV defense of Bear Lake. Bear Lake up 50-7 right now. And Adams takes the snap, drops back, looks down the field, far sideline. Good pass once again, has his man, but it's going to be picked off. Bear Lake with the interception, waiting for the number as there's a mess of players over there. Myers was again the intended target.
Romrell, excellent.
The interception goes to Romrell.
Take over at the 42-yard line. It'll be first and 10.
Caden Romrell with his first pick of the night. Adams with his first pick of the night. And the Cardinals, as soon as they look to be getting a little bit of a break and a breather, end up throwing a deep ball downfield, and it's picked off, and Bear Lake with their offense is going to look to try and run out those last 4 minutes and 50 seconds with the running clock. It'll be that wing T formation, power to the near side. They're going to have a pickup, ball rush to the near side, cutting up the middle, and then going back across his body, hasling the first down is the quarterback. That is Evan Nate, and he's all the way out of bounds at the 35-yard line.
Into Soda Springs territory.
A 22-yard gain.
That's the JV quarterback. He's didn't they call him Avery Carlson? He's a very fast, very good running back. Did a lot of damage in the JV game.
Avery Carlson with a 22-yard run up to the 35-yard line. That's where Bear Lake will take over with 4:04 to go. Under center is Carlson. Calls out the count, takes the snap. He's going to hand this one up the gut, and a bull rush up the middle into the defensive arms of the waiting lineman. A flag comes out late. McHale on the carry. And the clock stops as the flag comes out with 3:48 to go. It's a 2-yard gain on the play. With 3:48 to go. Officials still huddled up. We'll see what this one is. And it looks like the official just pointed against Bear Lake. Unsportsmanlike, no, against the Cardinals.
Unsportsmanlike
and
conduct.
an ejection.
Red ball foul on Soda Springs.
I believe an ejection.
So out of the game is one of the Cardinals. Not sure who it is.
I think it was Caden Brown. He was the first one to come off.
And I was about to say that as well, as it looks like he's with his helmet off on the sidelines now.
I'm not sure on that. I don't want to be quoted, but he was the first one off, and I think the coaches were upset with his. I don't know what they felt, but
3:48.
After the
ball
penalty,
moves
that'll
up
take
ahead
ball
to
all
the
way down
20-yard
inside
line.
the 20-yard line to about the 18-yard
And now, if you're the
line.
Cardinals, you got to be worried about giving up a touchdown to the JV team from Bear Lake, which if you're looking to try and, again, get that little bit of momentum going into next week, giving up a touchdown to this squad is not the way to do it. Another snap upcoming. Snap goes good. It's going to be another quarterback keeper to the near side and being pulled down from behind for a loss of a yard. Carlson can't get around the edge and is picked up for a loss of 1. Gives him 2 carries for 21 yards, and the Cardinals defense a big stand right there in order to move Bear Lake back to the 20-yard line. 3:17 clock continues to march down, 50-7. As I said on our Gate City Real Estate scoreboard, be sure to stick around after this. We'll have the post-game show with updates from Grace as well as from North Gem. Try and find some scores from how their games are going tonight as another snap is going to be taken. Running out to the near side or far side as the quarterback runs out of room quickly, throws one towards the end zone. Flag comes out, almost intercepted. The ball drops down to the ground.
Flag there.
And there is a flag at the 5-yard line.
Goes into the end zone. There is a flag on the play. Nearly intercepted.
Ball was batted around a little bit. As Carlson goes 0 for 1 now on the night passing. No matter what, it's not going to be a touchdown.
Pass interference on the offense.
And that's going to cost Bear Lake 15 yards of their own. Only their 4th penalty of the night. They have 25 yards in penalties. Soda Springs, to counter that, ended up with 14 penalties for 109 yards right now. And a lot of those big ones of 15 yards. Second down, 12 yards to go, or excuse me, call it 27 yards to go from the 36-yard line. Snap goes back. It's going to be a pass towards the near side. It's going to be hauled in, and at the 10-yard line, the Cardinals will roll him down. Caden Romrell is inside the 10 to the 9. A 26-yard completion.
That'll be a 3rd down and 2 right at the 10-yard line. Great throw and catch.
And it brings up 3rd and 2 with 2:20 to go. Clock continuing to march down. And again, the Cardinals defense with their backs up against their own wall. Trying to keep Bear Lake out of the end zone for their final trip down tonight. It's going to be a quick handoff this time, and a good job by the defense getting a stop. Another flag comes in late.
Handoff goes to Alleman up the middle.
Alleman goes nowhere. It's a loss, if anything, on the play. Maybe back to the original line of scrimmage.
Clock is stopping a lot here. Allow their opportunity very nicely for their JV squad.
With 2:02 to go. And
I don't understand a running clock, though. How does that work? Does it run even through penalties when it's that far ahead?
I was assuming, the way I was always taught on running clock was it runs through penalties. The only stoppages come from scores, timeouts, and change of possessions. But that's in other states that I've worked in. I've never worked Idaho football before, so I'm not positive. 3rd down and 12, minute 56 to go. Another snap is going to go back. They're going to try and throw this one, tripping up and falling down as the pass goes towards the end zone. Caught at the 2-yard line and out of bounds.
By Avery
Carlson with another completion.
It'll be 1st and goal.
That one's going to be an 8-yard completion, or excuse me, that goes as a, call it 20-yard completion. A big chunk through the air. And it kind of looked like the Cardinals defense gave up a little bit. So 11:20 to go. And it looks like from the text you just received.
Yeah, somebody thought that it was only supposed to stop on timeouts, yeah.
And each state is different sometimes on the running clock, because this time a run over to the far side is going to be down at the 1. The Cardinals defense holds. 1:02 to go. Clock will continue to march down. And it makes it a second down and 1 to go at the 1 yard line.
Is where they spotted that.
Clock at 50 seconds. This could be the last play if you're Bear Lake to try and run. As they again come up to the line of the scrimmage. Watch out for the quarterback sneak if you're the Cardinals, as they do have a couple people. And it's going to be a false start on the Bears. On the near side, one of the linemen jumped, and that's going to be a benefit to the Cardinals, moving them back to a second down and 6 from the 6.
You know, I hate the fact that they're kind of trying to continue to score instead of take a knee here. But at the same time, we're sub completely out. We're not trying to sub them, stop them at all either. So, I don't know. I don't think you want this JV squad to score against your varsity here. Or see the success in this game. I think you play tough here with your kids and try and get them to stop. And there they did exactly that, took a knee down.
So they do take the knee. That wraps it up 50-7, the final score of tonight's contest, as the Cardinals end up dropping this one like they have so far on the season in a tough matchup. 15 total points scored in the third quarter, 0 for either team in the final quarter of play, 7 for the Cardinals back in the third quarter. We'll take a break, come back with our final wrap of this game, as well as our updates from Grace and North Gem on KBRV 800 The Bear, with live stream and video online at mylocalradio.com.
Here's a look at your Lalaton's food specials in Soda Springs for the week of October 15th through the 21st. And check out their Tyson's family pack of boneless, skinless chicken breasts for $1.99 each. Or their boneless beef sirloin tip or chuck roast, $3.99 a pound. Boneless New York pork chops are $1.99 a pound as well. And don't forget, if you're looking for your potatoes, they have 10-pound bags of russet potatoes, 2 for $3, all at Lalaton's in Soda Springs.
You can always feel assured to know that you have a hospital that will handle your health care in a caring and professional manner. Bear Lake Memorial Hospital in Montpelier, Idaho offers 24/7 emergency room services, 3 physicians clinics, elder care services including assisted living and skilled nursing, dialysis, orthopedic care, physical therapy, counseling services, home health services, and much more. Health care for the entire family. Bear Lake Memorial Hospital, the most caring hospital on earth.
Come on, smile. Oh, honey, he's still not smiling.
Maybe he's not a smiler.
Yeah, maybe he's just not a happy baby.
Maybe he's just being a boy.
Or maybe he's teething.
Maybe it's just a phase.
Maybe he has autism, and we can definitely do something to help.
Maybe is all you need to find out more about autism. No big, joyful smiles by 6 months is one early sign. Learn the others at autismspeaks.org/signs. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
There's an organization in southeast Idaho whose wildlife conservation efforts have been commended by the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation, the Idaho Fish and Wildlife Foundation, and the North American Moose Foundation. Who is this organization? It's Monsanto. While Monsanto is honored by the recognition they receive, their ongoing dedication to the environment is its own reward for all of us. Monsanto. Imagine.
Hi, this is Terry Crews, actor, former football player, and father of 5. I'm also an expert on drama. There's the good kind that comes with having a house full of kids, and there's silly drama like the drama around my percolating pectorals. And then there's the drama you can skip.
Skip the drama that comes with not having your high school diploma or equivalency. Find free adult education classes near you and finish your diploma. Visit finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org.
And leave the drama to actors like me.
Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Welcome back out to the home of the Bear Lake Bears. Caleb Burgraff here on KBRV 800 The Bear, as well as online at mylocalradio.com, where it's time for our post-game show. The Cardinals again dropping this one by a final score of 50-7 on homecoming night for Bear Lake and the Bears. Let's take a look at the final numbers on this one. Bear Lake on our rundown. We should start off at the start of the second half. It was a 35-0 score. Bear Lake was able to score Soda Springs was able to score on their first drive as they were able to march down the field and cap it off with a 1-yard touchdown run by Devin Adams. That would be the closest the Cardinals would get at 35-7. After that, a 28-yard touchdown run by Jens Quintero would make it back to a 35-point lead at 42-7. After that, it became a 12-yard pass from Shaw to Roberts, as that would be his third touchdown of the game, the second passing touchdown of the night for the Bears, and it made the score 50-7 after the 2-point conversion was made by the Bear Lake Bears. Bears had 382 rushing yards on the night, 106 yards through the air, just shy of 500 yards on the evening, as they really had a good performance from a lot of different members on their team. 2 members of the team ended up getting over 100 yards rushing, with Quintero rushing 15 times for 130 and Roberts rushing 11 times for 119 yards on the night. Also with a very, very good Nate game, Jaden Phelps ended up with 10 carries for 83 yards, averaging 8 yards a carry. So Bear Lake ends up coming through with a very strong homecoming game and a great homecoming win here for their fans. For Soda Springs and the Cardinals, they had 109 yards of penalties on 14 different penalties. That really almost outdid all the other yards they gained. 123 yards through the air on 8 of 21 passing. The best they were at one point in time ended up being 8 for 18 as Adams started to struggle towards the back half through an interception in his last pass of the game. Morrison went 0 for 1, and so did Tanner Myers, and a halfback pass that they tried as well. Cardinals had 14 rushing yards on 17 carries as well, and that was another reason why they lost this game. They were being made one-dimensional, against Bear Lake and the Bears. We'll take a quick break, come back, and take a look at the Grace Grizzlies, see what they're doing so far tonight, see if we can find some score updates from their game on the road tonight at Raft River. Back here after this on KPRV 800 The Bear with live streaming video online at mylocalradio.com.
Cattlemen have a code of ethics. Live each day with courage. Take pride in your work. Always finish what you start. Do what has to be done. Be tough but fair. When you make a promise, keep it. Ride for the brand. Talk less and say more. Remember that some things aren't for sale, and know where to draw the line. The folks at Mound Valley Cattle Company in Thatcher, Idaho are proud of the students at Grace High School, investing in the leaders of tomorrow. The Mound Valley Cattle Company, 208-339-0614.
Today, my new dad and I shot off a rocket in the park.
Today, my new son and I failed to shoot off a rocket.
The rocket launched into the air
and then crashed into the pond.
I'll never forget that day.
I'll never forget that day, even if I tried.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are. For more information on how you can adopt, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
MyLocalRadio.com is Southwest Wyoming and Northeast Utah's top website and the best source for local area news, weather, sports, and community events. And that's not all. MyLocalRadio.com features
and know where to draw the line. The folks at Mound Valley Cattle Company in Thatcher, Idaho are proud of the students at Grace High School, investing in the leaders of tomorrow. The Mound Valley Cattle Company, 208-339-0614.
Today, my new...
Welcome back out to the home of the Bear Lake Bears. Caleb Berggraf here as we wrap up our post-game show and go into our updates with the Grace update. The Grizzlies on the road at Raft River tonight. We had a chance to sit down and talk with Brandon Sanchez, the head coach of the Grace Grizzlies, right now on KPRV 800 The Bear and online at mylocalradio.com.
Caleb Berggraf here with Coach Brandon Sanchez on the Grace Coach's Corner. And Coach, first things first, congratulations on a good homecoming game for you guys, a 44-8 win over Chalice. What was it like to watch your kids really play that well in their final home game of the year?
Oh, it was great to watch that. We knew what was at stake at this game. It meant us being able to get into those early games, those early playing games for the playoffs, and so it was huge. It was senior night, it was homecoming, so it was exciting that way. We had a big crowd, we had great support. The kids offense came out a little dead, though. I don't know what it was. It took a lot to get us to get our energy up, especially at halftime. When they scored at half, to be right before half, you looked at the kids' faces and it looked like somebody shot their dog. It was just one of those things like, it's like, come on, guys, we're up. It's 22-8. We're fine. That just says a lot about my team. They didn't want Chalice to score, and they kind of took it personal. But it was a big win for us. It was a big win for homecoming, something we haven't had for a couple of years. And senior night was emotional. It was really emotional at the end. And so it was just a great game for us.
With this win, you guys solidify your spot into that plan, like you said. So a lot of the pressure has been taken off as far as for making the postseason, because that's the big goal during the regular season, is just get your spot in there, because you never know what's going to be able to happen. Now you have 2 more games to get set up for that, 1 more against Butte, and you could earn yourself that number 1 seed coming out of the High Desert Plains and District 5. How big is that number 1 seed going to be in relation to where you go in the playoff?
I use this word a lot, huge. It's huge. It really is. We've really got to win this conference, I think. It's going to be tough. I told the kids this morning that from here on out are going to be the toughest games you've played all year. You've the last 2 games of the regular season, then going into the playoffs. And so for us to get that number 1 seed, for us to win the conference outright and be able to move into the playoffs that way is big for us. We've got Raft River coming up this week, and it's one of those games that means something for your record, and it means something as you're moving on. But when you look at conference play, it doesn't hurt or help us one way or another that way. Butte, that last game, is going to be the big game for us. But Raft River is going to be one of those teams it's a different type of team that we're going to play, and so we just have to get ready for them this week.
Caleb Burgraff with Coach Brandon Sanchez. And Coach, when you look at this game against Raft River, what do you do in this game to prepare yourself for Butte County again and having to go on the road to Butte County? How do you use this game as a warm-up for that?
Butte County had 2 of the toughest runners that we faced. And that number 24 of theirs, he had over 200 yards rushing on us. And Raft River, they're ranked, in the top, 3 teams in the state right now. And so it's going to be one of those, it's a good tune-up for us to play a team of that caliber to get into play Butte County, the week after that. Raft River, they spread the ball out a little bit. They like to run screens, and they like to cross, and they like to pull. And so it's a different scheme than I think we've seen all year. And so that'll be a test for us to see if we can adjust to that. But I think if we can battle with a team like that and get the win, especially at Raft River, it'll be huge as we go up to Butte and try to get that win there.
Final thing for you, Coach. Your team last year started out strong, then tailed off towards the end. This year, I think you've kind of made a statement to the rest of the state that, we're here to play, we're here to compete in Division 1A. Now that you have that statement out there, how do you follow through on that, and what is your worry for the kids in these last couple of games leading into the playoffs?
One of the worries is like you said, the history of our team and the history of how we've kind of fell off towards the end. A worry that I have is, we're going to play 2 really, really tough teams, and I worry that if the chips get down and we struggle a little bit, or whatever the case may be, our ability to come back. We proved that against Butte County, though, because we got down 13-0, and we battled our way back, and we ended up winning the game. And so that'll help us as we move into it. That's pretty much my only worry there. I worry a little bit about Raft River just because the history that we have there. We got beat pretty bad last year homecoming against Raft River. And so there's a few worries there. But you know what? My team has stepped up. They're a great bunch of guys. They're one of the better teams that I've ever coached. I've told you before, the speed, the size, everything there. We're starting to put everything together. If we can just take care of the ball, get rid of a few mistakes, mainly penalties, I think we're going to compete with both teams down the stretch, and I honestly think, and we're going to get both wins.
Coach Sanchez, thank you again for the time. Good luck to you guys this week against Raft River.
Great, thank you.
That's head coach Brandon Sanchez from the Grace Grizzlies. Now take a look over at the North Gem Cowboys, who are coming off of their 2nd loss of the season, and they're looking to try and get back onto the winning track. We talked with head coach Dana Strong right now on KBRV 800 The Bear.
Caleb Burgraff here with Dana Strong, the head coach of the North Gem football team. And Coach, this week, for the first time in a while, we're talking about a disappointing finish for your team. What are your overall thoughts on the way that they performed this last week?
We were missing a little bit of a spark. I'm not totally certain why. Homecoming week and everything, could come up with a million excuses, but there's a little bit of a spark missing. I'm not sure what happened in that regard. Offensively, we seem to be making bad decisions and not hitting the hole quite like we have been. Defensively, they played very well. I mean, we had our backs to the wall the whole game and gave up just really 1 touchdown and then 2 on special teams, which was an issue.
It looked like when you talk about that special teams, that's something that as a coach you can overlook a little bit, just because with 8-man, it's a big field and you break one seam and all of a sudden the guy's gone. With the defense being able to play well, does that still give you confidence in what your team can do even when they're in a game where the offense isn't performing?
Oh yeah, no question. I mean, our defense is going to keep us there, and we really haven't broken this year other than our one game early against Cary. Other than that, no one's really broken us defensively, and Clark's a good team and they've been putting up a lot of points, so we really held them down. I mean, to hold their offense to 1 touchdown is a good accomplishment, and we made them work for everything they got. What we have to learn to do is sustain drives, and I've been telling the kids this for a while, is we're not always going to hit 60-70 yard runs. There are going to come games where you're going to have to grind it out a little bit at a time, and that seemed to, fatigue us a little bit mentally. I'm not sure.
Kayla Burgraff with Coach Dana Strong, and Coach, now that you have that loss, it hurts you a little bit for the playoffs wise. You were looking at a number 1 seed and playing Richfield here at home. Now all of a sudden it's Dietrich, it's Lighthouse Christian, or it's Cary, and there's a possibility, depending on what happens with this next game, that you have to go on the road. How important is it that you get this next game against Water Springs?
It's very important. I mean, honestly, this is a huge win, a game for us, a game we need to win, and we're going to get back to basics and hitting hard to this week and try to take it. Yeah, we made things harder on ourselves, no question. We need some help now from other teams, but the reality of it is that we were going to have to go through those teams anyway to get to state, and so that's what I've been telling them is, we made it a little harder, but we're going to have to go through the same teams. We may not get a first round against a team that is a number 4 seed, but you're still going to have to beat the best teams to get to state and do something.
When you look at this game against Water Springs, they're 1-3 right now, not the best of records, but when you look at the schedule they've played, they've loaded it with tough teams. I mean, they played Butte County from a division up, which is always a powerhouse. They played Dietrich and they've played Lighthouse Christian. In their 1 win, they also put up 70 points. What are you nervous about in this game against Water Springs?
Just that they've been scoring a lot of points, and that from what I understand, they're pretty physically a strong team and a tested team in that regard. So I have a feeling they're not going to be lacking for confidence. They're going to be at home. I think this is going to be a good big game for them. I expect it to be another tight game. And I expect it to be a game that's, that we're going to have to learn to sustain drives. We're going to have to do that again, and we're going to work on that this week. Hit our 2-point conversions. We need to get better at that and a lot of things. But no, I expect a tough game out of Water Springs. They were leading, from what I understand, Lighthouse at halftime, and that's not an easy thing to do. So they're a good team.
Final thing for you, that's you get Perkins back this week. How big is that going to be in getting the team going again and getting them fired up with having him, who's a leader on the team, back?
It's a big deal because a couple of reasons. One of which is he brings an attitude to him in the game. I mean, he runs angry and he runs hard, and he brings a certain attitude that we seem to be missing this last game. And the other aspect is just he's a talented player. I mean, I know the game before, Rockland was double teaming him all the time. I mean, teams have to account for him, and having him back out there is going to be a big motivating factor for the team.
Coach Strong, thank you so much again for the time. Good luck this week against Water Springs.
Well, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
That's Coach Dana Strong from the North Gem Cowboys. That wraps up our post-game show. Again, the final score of tonight's matchup between the Soda Springs Cardinals and the Bear Lake Bears, 50-7. Soda Springs and the Cardinals are dropped by the Bears here on homecoming night for Bear Lake. That'll wrap things up for us. Thank you again for listening in to the Soda Springs Cardinals post-game show. The proceeding has been a sports production and sports broadcast of Old West Media Incorporated and Cook Brothers Broadcasting. No portion of this production can be used or rebroadcast without express written consent of Old West Media Incorporated. Tonight's executive producer is Val Cook. I'd also like to thank our sales team as well as our office manager Kim Miller and general manager Warren Cook. Thanks to all of our sponsors and to you for tuning in. Once again, final score tonight is 50-7. Bear Lake walks away with a victory. For tonight's videographer and colorman Ben Jacobson, I'm Caleb Burgraff saying go Cardinals.
Thank you once again for tuning in to this edition of Soda Springs Cardinal Football. Be sure to visit mylocalradio.com and take a look at when the next time the boys of Soda will take the field. Until the next time the red and black take the field, let's go Cardinals!